like you. And a drama only venom when I get my dues. Respect, I'm the next tycoon. Got a pad full of greens, couple M's mine soon. Unbeliever, do you see the confidence? Got some people waiting for me on the fence. I live it, but never see me on the fence. Best believe that when I win, it's common sense. I'm designed to fly, defeat all demise. The best me, no fear, no compromise. 100 degrees, I breathe more to life. You should disconnect and throw in the wires. And a hand that's in this. Gotta back it up a high percentage. Got a heart in my sleep, non-stop. Stepping up to the seat, more shots. Getting those I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. Watch me dive and free, and it's my time. Up in the stars, you'll never forget me. But not holding back on the side. Only get better with time. Ready to own what is mine tonight. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. Yeah, I never wait up. Flowers say so they coming on the way up. A true fighter's what they always been afraid of. Cards had it close on my circle when I lay up. Switch the game every quarter like a time zone. Aim for the bus, tryna build up to this mind zone. Pave the way with only items that I might own. Imagine what I'm about to do, be an icon. Ain't a problem, just the haters that I might know. It's a night show, the way I'm about to make a movie with these lights. Know the one they be like me, they can try. All gold, everything when I write. Can repeat it, every legend gotta fight. A new world, when I flip, make it tight. Ain't nobody doing minutes how I like. Seat buckled up, going up like a bike. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, up in the sky, into the light. Watch me dive and free, and it's my time. Up in the stars, with every stride, our future's bright. Cause I'm on to the next. The way I shape shifts makes them call me a threat. Running on this path, never done, no regrets. There is nothing you can do when my face on the set. You're in front of the best. Different league if you wanna get to me. I game and pedigree. Yeah, I only got a picture on the centerpiece. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me. Watch me dive and free, and it's my time. Up in the stars, you'll never forget me. But not holding back on the side. Only get better with time. Ready to own what is mine tonight. I'm alive, unleashed in the fire. Out in the wild, you can never stop me.
One touch from you takes me to paradise, paradise. One look from you and I fall in your arms, in your arms. Baby, don't stop, baby, don't stop, baby, don't stop it. And give me your love, give me your love, give me your loving. Say that you want, say that you want, say that you want it. Cause this is my love, this is my love. Something about you feels like heaven came along. Baby, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Something that you do makes me feel like we belong. Baby, can you feel it? Can you feel One kiss from you is like a fantasy, fantasy. It's like you go beyond my wildest dream, wildest dream. Baby, don't stop, baby, don't stop, baby, don't stop it. And give me your love, give me your love, give me your loving. Say that you want, say that you want, say that you want it. Cause this is my love, this is my love. Something about you feels like heaven came along. Baby, can you feel it? Can you feel it? Something that you do makes me feel like we belong. Baby, can you feel it? Can you feel it? parted. I don't know what went wrong. I just know that I want your body here with me tonight. With me tonight. You know what I need, know just where to touch. Make me feel like I can't explain. Oh no, don't you leave, it's just a bit of fun. You know how to drive me insane. I know it shouldn't feel right, but baby, don't go. Just love me all night. Just love me all night. 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 All night. Tell me you want me, baby. Tell me I'm not alone. Tell me you wanna be with me tonight. With me tonight. With me tonight. You know what I need, know just where to touch. Make me feel like I can't explain. Oh no, don't you leave, it's just a bit of fun. You know how to drive me insane. I know it shouldn't feel right, but baby, don't go. Just love me all night. Just love me all night. 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 All night.
It shouldn't feel right, but baby, don't go. Just let me all night.
Just love me all night. All night. Just love me all night. All night. Just love me all night. All night. Just love me all night. All night.
Don't need no thing. Ain't into bling. Just use enough. You fill me up. I don't care for diamond rings. I just crave the simple things, 'cause that's what I want. That's what I want. I don't need no fancy for diamond rings. I just crave the simple things, 'cause that's what I want, that's what I want. I don't need no fancy car, I'll take you just the way you are. 'Cause that's what I want, that's what I want. 'Cause that's what I want, that's what I want. 'Cause that's what I want, that's what I want. 'Cause that's what I want, that's what I want. That's what I want.
Don't you wanna tell me about the time that we felt free? Turn your eye on the halo that you give yourself daily. Give me a new ending, 'cause I'm running free tonight. Don't want that story, wanna love and live my life. Always talking about where we'll be, gonna move out of the city. Spending our time daydreaming, living our life like a movie. I'm the only one who can make me whole. Pick me up, I'm the only one. Gonna ride this feeling and write a new beginning. I don't wanna pretend that everything I wanted was gone in the end. And I don't wanna pretend again. And I don't need to pretend I'm living in this moment, I'm living my best. 'Cause I don't need to pretend and pretend and pretend and pretend. Don't live life in envy, shine a bright energy. With the waves I'm making, gotta make sure I'm happy. I'm the only one who can make me whole. Pick me up, I'm the only one. I'm gonna ride this feeling and write a new beginning. And I don't wanna pretend that everything I wanted was gone in the end. And I don't wanna pretend and pretend and pretend again. And I don't need to pretend I'm living in this moment, I'm living my best. 'Cause I don't need to pretend
This is my life, and I have the right to get what I want, to carry on, carry on. This is my life, I can't waste no time to get what I want, to carry on, carry on. I am so strong, I am so strong. This is my life, and I have the right to get what I want, to carry on, carry on. This is my life, I can't waste no time to get what I want, to carry on, carry on. I am so strong, I am so strong. This is my life, and I have the right to get what I want, to carry on, carry on. This is my life, I can't waste no time to get what I want, to carry on, carry on. I am so strong, I am so strong.
I'm going in bigger than ever. Watch me flex on the set. I was made for this. I'm going in bigger than ever. Sit back and watch me win. I'm going in bigger than ever. Just watch me win. Just watch me win. I'm going in bigger than ever. Watch me flex on the set. I was made for this. I'm going in big.
Welcome to the top 5 highlights of the final week of Wild Rift League Asia group stages. While the situation in the APAC region seemed to be set, Cerberus Esports surprisingly defeated Trace Esports to finish in the top 2. In China, the top 8 teams that advanced only became certain when the final match ended. A group stage that brought a lot of new things compared to the previous Wild Rift League Asia season. Now let's dive to the top 5 highlights of week number 8. Starting with number 5. Trace Esports is still flying very high on the wings of Weiba, especially because of 7-8's performance. Facing Thunder Talk in the second game at 18 minutes into the game, Weiba transformed into a dragon and flew into the Baron Pit to steal victory for Trace Esports.
Shield of the Rand is perfect,
Oh,
but Trace
good
Esports steals the Baron. This will be Weiba's time to shine, and they took it away from Thunder Talk to end the game. And now the Hextech ultimatum denied by their post. With the Heroes entrance as well, zoning away, Tracy Esports trigger and flip into the backside. Korn has to use up the stasis, but going into the middle of it all, it's Z who gets deleted. The Baron Nashor with Tracy.
Number 4. Now this highlight, it's a combined effort of CF17 and Soldier. They had a stunning collaboration to steal the Elder Dragon against Keep Best Gaming members at the 19th minute into the game of their second match.
Soldier, he might be able to go for the steal here. CF17, he's already inside. They got the kill on SEY. They got the steal in the end. J-Team is going to be running away with this. They got one on ZY. They have the Elder Drake on their side. They might be able to get the kill on KG. Xiaoma running away. Two members are still alive on the side. KVG, they got the true shot barrage. And that was it. Elder Drake has been taken.
Number 3. Yitze also made it to the top of the highlights of week number 8 with a great 1 versus 2 tower defense. At the beginning of the game, he became a target from once, but through his quick thinking, Yitze turned the hunter into a prey by taking both of the kills.
Oh yeah, because once, as soon as he saw he was already in place, Yitze,
he
did. Oh god, he delayed that time for so long, and then the turrets will keep him alive, just winning.
Number 2. The final 3-man turret freeze seemed easy, but SZY was too strong with his Renekton. With the power of the Crocodile and Ignite, SZY took 1 kill for himself and helped the team to secure 2 more kills.
Not really able to CC anything, but on the other side, the same thing is happening, but on the other side, SZY, he actually manages to get the kill, and another kill by Soldier onto Chaz, and now that he's trapped behind enemy lines. 3 kills, 4 kills across the board for JT.
And number 1. In the top 1 position for the final week of the group stages belongs to the ADC of Thundertalk, Soil. Right at the first minute of the second game when they met Nova Esports, Soil had a calm handling to turn a 3 versus 2 gank into a Nova Esports disaster to take a triple kill.
Good dredge line, layer of CC, and they know that Chenchi got no flash, but still.
Wait! Ooh!
With the damage, they still got a sustain, but here comes more. Looking for a target once again, uses the flash, a flash to flash, and a coast to coast of a kill.
Barrier.
Hitting.
Oh! Fruits!
And he's going.
There you go!
And a double kill, and everyone.
Which one did you love the most? Let us know in the comment section and keep supporting teams giving their all here in this tournament. My name's Giyang, and see you again on the next video.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
Welcome back, everybody, to Wild Rift League Asia, and we are back to day 2, and we're gonna be back to the knockout stage of this game. It's honestly such a great time because we already saw one game yesterday. Naos lost on a 2-4 against a Roster Y, but now we're gonna have another APAC match. It's gonna be G2B versus Cerberus Esports. We're gonna be your shoutcasters. My name is Dash, and I'm here with Dr. Loose.
Action continues. Playoffs day number 2. Yesterday, we saw Naos falling down to the hands of KT Roster Y. We have to remember that Naos was the #1 team from APAC. They did indeed choose to face against KT Roster Y, avoiding G2 Blacklist in the process. And so today, it is going to be a continuation. Is it going to be another sad day for the Filipino fans? Because G2 Blacklist going against Cerberus Esports, I don't know what to expect, Ash. I don't know what to expect.
Honestly, the last time that they met, that was a 2-0, right? Cerberus Esports was able to get a 2-0 against them during the last time that they met on the group stages. So this is still going to be a problem. Even back then, during the SEA Games, we also remember that G2 Blacklist was fighting against Cerberus Esports back then during the SEA Games. But G2 Blacklist was able to win that. But now this is a different story. We're now on a different season. We are on season 2 of Wild Rift League Asia. So this is going to be a different story for this, guys.
Exactly. Now, just to revisit the roadmap of what it is to expect for Wild Rift League Asia, we are done with the regular stages, and the playoff has started yesterday, and that is about to end on the 21st of January, just leading into the finals that will happen as well on the same year, February 1st. So a whole month of Wild Rift League Asia action. And as you did say, it's going to definitely be a banger. We don't know what to expect. We can possibly infer from what happened during the group stages. We could also, get some information from what happened last playoffs out. But one thing is for sure, right? It's so hard to call who's going to end up on top.
Yeah, especially with the top 4 that we have in the playoffs, especially in the APAC conference. It's a different story from the last season. The last season, we could definitely call who's going to win because it's a very different season back then. But now in season 2, anybody could win because everybody on the top 4 has been fighting their lives to get on that top 4 spot. And they all have almost the same amount of power from each other. So the question is, would there be a PH versus PH after this day? That's going to be the question for the lower bracket.
Into lower bracket, that's really going to be a painful match to watch. If anything, this is also a very good story to behold because it will be between the #1 team of Philippines for sure and the #1 team from Vietnam. 2 of the regions in Southeast Asia that has really a very rich history of League of Legends. And we go over to the brackets of the CN conference. We're not yet starting their playoffs. We have to wait for the APAC playoffs to finish. But man, oh man, you can see in the winners bracket a very exciting, exciting match #1 in Thunder Talk and Keep Us Gaming going at it.
Yeah, now let's take a look at the APAC conference. Yesterday, we have already seen Roster Y be able to win. So the question is, who's going to be having that great lower bracket run after this? Because the question is, after you go to the lower bracket and after you win here in match 6, you already are qualified for the finals. So that's going to be the biggest chance here for Roster Y. Would they repeat the same thing that they did from the last time, or would it be another team to get to the winners finals after this?
Well, technically they're waiting as to who will they be facing against, and the decider will be between G2 Blacklist and Cerberus Esports. And again, Dash, when we talk about the top 2, those are the 2 teams that will be flying over to China for the grand event, right? Like we'll have to be sending them over to the live stage. And similar to what happened in the playoffs, we saw the playoffs or the live action buff in action, right? For G2 Blacklist. We'll see if it will happen again for APAC squads.
Yeah, that's going to be the question here for APAC. G2 Blacklist versus Cerberus Esports. As we said, it was a 2-0 the last time that they met together. Vi from Y1 was a big menace that G2B needs to answer right now. So now that there's a lot of champions too, that in 4.4D has been nerfed, the Aatrox especially for KD, would that still be an option for this guy?
Yeah, the biggest biggest surprise to me here looking at the starting five of G2 Blacklist. We have to focus on the Baron lane. Carl is the one set to play.
Yeah.
What? Alright, I'm
What?
bamboozled right now because Ime has really shown very big improvements on the top side. So if that will be their starting five, the amount of practice that they were able to do with Carl in the Baron lane might just have decided to put him in as their starting Baron laner for game number 1. So that will definitely be something that we'll monitor moving forward here, Dash.
Yeah.
But for Cerberus Esports, this 5, Taco, Y1, BMM, Gensa, and Akeno, they are on a mission, right? Like, they want retribution of what happened last season. Last season, they failed to qualify themselves at the playoffs. And that mainly is because of Meliodas getting emergency subbed out, right? Like, he was sick for a good time, and there was an immediate substitution. Y1 had to take his place in the jungle, which is not something that really did help them last season. But now, after having to practice with the same set of 5, now they're bearing their fangs. Now they're showing what they're made of.
A season's worth of Y1 being in the jungle really helped them wake up as a team, and Cerberus Esports would really need to prove themselves this coming season, and G2B is one of the walls that they need to face. G2 Blacklist during the last season has been a great top team of the APAC conference, so now Cerberus, right now, from the last season that they were not able to qualify, this might be their season and this might be their time.
Yeah, this is again, this is a team on a mission, right? Like, and if anything, their last win against a CN team, against Trace Esports, was something no one expected. So it could really be a case of Cerberus Esports finding their groove, finding their meta just in time for the playoffs. They will be facing against G2 Blacklist, which is the reigning defending #1 team from APAC, right? But it's so easy to say that G2 Blacklist will have this in the bag just from experience alone. But if anything, you cannot count out Cerberus.
Yeah, especially that with this the difference between the metas here, especially here in the jungle, Y1 and KD, very different play styles, and Y1 having a pocket pick of Vi on their side. I think this is gonna be a good indication of what's going to come for Y1, because KD, most of the champions that he used, the Jace and even the Aatrox, nerfed with the wave clear, but still it's not really gonna affect that much, but still quite a bit of a nerf that should really help out Y1.
Right, so when talking about damage to monsters, it all has something to do with your tempo, with how fast will you be able to respond to any potential ganks and so on and so forth. But you look at the most interesting stat in here, you're seeing a very big difference in the damage percentage share between these two gentlemen, right? Like, you have KD, almost 22% of the damage of G2 Blacklist comes from this guy, and that mainly is because he wants to carry. You can give him carry champions and he will be the one to be the star player for the team. For Y1 though, as you did say it best, his Vi is definitely going to be one of the pivotal champion to look out for. Just because he wants to play for his teammates. We have to remember that the last time that these two teams met against each other, Y1 really unlocked BMM on a different level that BMM was able to win it by himself.
Yeah, and even the Hecarim that is also a part of the meta right now that people have been picking up. That's also something that the Y1 has been picking by himself, which is also a good champion that he could use. And also would really go back to the same point in where he just really wants to help out his teammates, and Hecarim is a good answer to that.
Exactly.
But KD here, KD would really want to carry, and I really expect a lot of carry champions from this guy. But again, let's go to the stage first before we head into the game itself.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wild Rift League Asia. This is Yoho. Today, the second day of the playoffs, and we are going to have Saigon Cerberus Esports versus Quezon City G2 Blacklist. This is the first time for CES getting to the playoffs, and they just gave their opponents G2B a 2-0 in the regular season. So, will there be any reverse today? We shall see. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the show begin. Let's welcome Saigon Cerberus Esports and Quezon City G2 Blacklist.
Chiến thắng chúng tôi. Các bạn như còn non và tham lắm. Hãy chuẩn bị chờ đón thất bại tiếp theo nhé.
We didn't take you guys seriously before, but we're going to go all out in this game to get revenge.
I think Draw just got back from a workout there from, from what happened during the last time. But again, they want some revenge from the last group stages, so that 2-0 is now going to be answered by G2 Blacklist.
Did you read what Cerberus Esports had to say?
Too young for us.
Yeah, too young, right? Like,
yeah.
Is that a new
That's
thought?
what we always say when we
bata
play.
pa.
yeah.
But yeah,
so
it's okay. So Cerberus Esports and you know, as a team really has stepped it up. They do have a very good veteran leadership in Akeno, but I cannot just sit back here and not criticize Akeno for some of his over-aggressions as well. He has to play this one almost perfectly to go against one of the best supports that we have in APAC in Draw, right? Like, and oftentimes, you know, you see Akeno, he's about to make sure that he will be playmaking for his team. But sometimes, Dash, he goes over aggressive, that he gets left on an island, and that is a very big mistake that Cerberus Esports cannot come back from. So we're going to really closely monitor Akeno's progress all throughout this best of 7. Since this is a best of 7, you know, many things can happen.
Yep. Slowly going back to the meta that we had during the WCS times, in where we have a Corki in the mid lane together with another poke mage rather in the mid lane. So that is something that we do expect. Corki has been getting a lot of plays, especially yesterday during our games. So right now, this is a good answer. Hecarim getting banned, and the Vi for sure later would be banned here by G2 Blacklist, so that Cerberus Esports doesn't have that option.
That is definitely going to be something that I believe Coach TG will put into consideration. One more thing is that they can just open up the Vi and have something planned against it. Now, what will be the last ban here for Cerberus Esports? Because, okay, so just looking at what happened yesterday. All right, so this Kha'Zix ban is a very good ban if you are a fan of Cerberus Esports. But yeah, yesterday we saw a lot of Nautilus on Now's Esports side, right? Being played in the jungle. So if you come to think of it, right, Vi and the Nautilus does actually have the same agenda in mind, right? Like, they are there to put down all those pesky mobile champions and just go for the ultimate lockdown. Now, Cerberus Esports on the blue side will be prioritizing Ornn, which is a very good team fighting support.
Yeah, a lot of priority supports that we have. It's like the 4 rotations of champions that we have in the supports. Ornn being open is always going to get picked. And there's a lot of priority too with the Gragas and the Alistar. But Vi is going to be denied here by G2 Blacklist. And KD is going to be the one to pick it. So Cerberus Esports, what are they going to answer this with after this Vi pick?
All right, so the last time that a Vi got picked against Cerberus Esports, they brought out the Dr. Mundo. That was their response, right? Like, because there's just no way that you can lock down a Dr. Mundo. He goes wherever he pleases. That could be something that Cerberus Esports might bring out here. That was against Weiba, no less. So, you know, Cerberus Esports is kind of accustomed in playing against the best junglers that we have in the game. Now, G2 Blacklist is going to round up their 2 picks with a very strong Baron laner in the Renekton. Now, Sivir is going to be hovered here by Cerberus Esports and ultimately gets locked down for Genza.
Yep. And yeah, so Sivir is going to be good here, especially if they don't really have a lot of mobilities when it comes to their champions. The Jax is going to be a good pick, a really safe pick whenever you have a Renekton on the other side. And usually, it always goes to the Jax's favor whenever this fight happens, even in the CN conference. So that's why this Jax pick is a good answer to that Renekton.
Always a win condition whenever you see a Renekton on the other side. You can pick the Jax as long as you survive the lane, as long as you don't get gapped that hard. You will definitely be a win condition come later stages of the game. Now, G2 Blacklist will then default back to one of the best marksmen that we have in the game, in the Ezreal. Now, that means the G2 Blacklist is lacking a support for their composition. I wonder if Draw and Coach TG in general will bring out an Enchanter support this time out. Because, you know, towards the latter stages of the group stages, we've seen a lot of pivots from the tanky supports to the Enchanter supports. And Draw is one of the best Enchanter supports that we have here in Southeast Asia. So that's definitely something to consider if you're G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, but I really thought that they're going to be picking up the Shen here. It's a good thing the G2 Blacklist was able to cancel that out from getting picked. This is most likely an Alistar. If ever Draw is not going to pick an Enchanter support on the other side. But they should really prioritize a Vladimir onto Aaron if ever they want that to happen. But remember, Vladimir has been nerfed during the recent patch, but still not going to matter. G2 Blacklist is still going to pick that up.
The biggest thing about the Vladimir is the amount of AoE damage that you can do in a team fight, right? Plus the survivability. Oh, Zyra. The Zyra.
Ooh. Against a Vladimir, I think that's a good matchup though.
Wait,
if ever,
Oh,
yeah,
man.
there you go, Zyra.
Oh,
it's the
man.
first time we're gonna have a Zyra. The Debo and the Mundo together with it.
Yeah, okay. Alright, so this is...
I love it. I love
Cerberus
it.
Esports, this is the second time that they're doing this, right? Like, they... Okay, if ever that Vi gets picked up on the other side, Dr. Mundo is their answer. Dr. Mundo is that one champion in the jungle that you can play as a tank. Now, one of the ways to control a Dr. Mundo is to go for a set, because we know how his damage gets amplified against the tanks.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is a crazy set of champions for game number 1. Not too crazy on G2 Blacklist side, kind of expected, right? Like, they still have the same set of 5 champions that we have seen them play over the course of the group stages. But for Cerberus Esports, a new champion in the mid lane, and the second showing of Dr. Mundo of Y1.
Yeah, one of the things that I love about this mid lane pick is because of the fact that we are really lacking on the amount of control mages in the game. Having Vladimir in the game and a Zyra. Zyra is the closest answer that you could have against a Vladimir because of her AoE skills, and it could really help the fact that the amount of pokes that a Zyra could do in the lane could really push out a Vladimir.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned the pokes, right? It's all about the range advantage.
Yeah.
Vladimir is very easily telegraphed, right? Well, like, he has to go in to be able to dish out damage. He has to go in to make sure that the Tides of Blood will be hitting a lot of minions. And that's when you try to counter him out by using the Zyra. So that's definitely, you know, I'm loving this draft overall from Cerberus. It really gives a lot of headaches towards Coach CG and G2 Blacklist. But if anything, they saw this coming from a while away.
Yeah. Really good surprise right here coming in from Cerberus Esports. Let's see if they would be able to make this work. This is going to be the first game of G2 Blacklist versus Cerberus, and you're seeing the Mundo riding his car to battle.
Is that a Lambo or a Ferrari?
I think that's a Ferrari in red.
That makes sense. Can only fit him, right? Very well customized for Dr. Mundo. But this is game number 1, ladies and gents. Again, this is a best of 7, and it looks like we're going to enter a very quick pause. All right, more time to discuss. Is it a Lambo? Chat? Is it a Ferrari? Is it a Toyota?
Yeah, you should know, chat. You should know what he was he was bringing to the rip together with his getup right there. But again, we're having a pause. I think there might be somebody having internet problems here on both sides. So we have a lot of things to discuss here and what this composition entails for Cerberus Esports, especially when they have that Zyra.
All right, so for I want to touch base on Dr. Mundo first, right? Like, Dr. Mundo is that one champion that can surprise you damage-wise, right? Like, if you go in against a Dr. Mundo in a dueling setup, right? In a 1v1 scenario, you would expect that the Vi would have enough damage, but no. With the amount of tankiness, with the amount of tank items as well that the Dr. Mundo will be piling up for himself, there is an opportunity for him to really be that big meat shield. And if anything, I'm really thinking that they would be concentrating their efforts on the dragon side of things, right? Like, if you get a lot of dragons, stack it up. By the time that you get your soul, it's almost unlosable for a Dr. Mundo, regardless of what soul it is, right? Like, especially if it's an ocean soul, right? It's a match made in heaven for the Dr. Mundo. But you get what I mean, right? Like, the longer this game goes, the scaling of Dr. Mundo is also something that we have to closely look at. He will not dish out a huge amount of damage, but he will soak a lot of damage first.
Yeah, and what I like about the Zyra pick together with the Dr. Mundo, yes, you're going to be picking up the Dr. Mundo. You will really have a no CC whenever you have a Mundo on your side, but having a Zyra in the meta changes things. Zyra makes things better for the team here. Because remember, if you have a Zyra, you have the Strangle Torrents, you have the Root, you have enough CC to stop them from pushing the backline, especially that Sivir. And even when you have a set in line, there's the passive of Mundo, which is called goes where he pleases, because he actually goes where he pleases whenever you have that. That's why it's still going to be a hard challenge here for G2 Blacklist. But a challenge is something that G2 Blacklist always had, especially during Season 1. They always want that challenge.
Yeah, the thing about Zyra, though, although one would say that Zyra, when she got released into the Wild Rift, she's definitely busted, and as we did say, it's one of the perfect counters to try to control the laning phase, against Aaron, just because of the range advantage that she currently possesses against a Vladimir. But if anything, we have to also put into consideration that Zyra is the most immobile mid laner that we've seen in a while, right? Imagine if KD gets his hands on this champion, that will just be an easy gank overall for G2 Blacklist, so that's definitely something to consider as well. It's not just draw, right? It's not just she. It's not just KD. It's also draw. Draw is also a very good ganking support on the set. So if anything,
Okay, they were a bit late here though. One of the things that I love about this is KD taking down the jungle in the bot side of the map, and because of that, they didn't have any vision on that bottom side of the map. Y1 would be late, and he's a Dr. Mundo. He really needs a lot of resources, level 5, before he would be able to help out in those team fights. And being late is going to be a problem because KD is just going to push him back here.
Oh, Flash being invested here by Draw just to avoid the knockup coming in from Akeno. That could have been a very, very bad trade overall for Draw. But yeah, as you did say, it's all about recognizing that Dr. Mundo is not the best early game champion in the game. And you look at what is happening right now for G2 Blacklist, they're going in.
Yeah, can't go where he pleases now. They have the Haymaker, Y1 damage onto this guy. Never's gonna flash in. They have the Ezreal first blood on their side. They still have 2 members down. Genza is gonna fall down. This is gonna be big for G2B. 3 kills for their side.
Wow, that's a very explosive start for G2 Blacklist, and what a way to punish a Dr. Mundo pre-level 5. What can you do? Throw briefcases? Not going to help you against a squad of G2 Blacklist that is so ready to collapse on everyone. And you're seeing BMM right now, right? He had no mana as a Zyra. This is also one of the things that I kind of question this Zyra pick as a whole early game. It doesn't really have enough damage to really be that nuisance that we talked about prior to this game starting.
Yeah, and also you really need the item, maybe until the second item before the Zyra gets what she needs to do, the utility that she could do in those big team fights. But again, that first move coming in from KD, taking down all the jungle of Y1 is the reason why Y1 is not having the best day.
Oh man, this is a Dr. Mundo that just got starved a whole lot. We have seen a lot of stories of millionaires going bankrupt, and this could just be it, right?
I think I saw that.
This businessman, Dr. Mundo, the business is not doing well for him at this point. And you look at Draw, he's very aggressive right now, was able to plant a vision towards the red buff of Cerberus Esports. Now G2 Blacklist will have an opportunity to just bully out Cerberus Esports here in the Paul lane. Genza's laning phase is a nightmare right now.
Yeah, even though that the Y1 really could have had a great start here for their team. KD just disrupting the jungle. The invade really made it so hard for the team here overall. I think this team, Cerberus Esports right now, is very crippled until the first objective. So this is a chance for G2 Blacklist to take what they want and go where they please against Cerberus.
And very close to Trinity Force. KD is here.
Yeah, goes in on the hunt, goes in, backline, Haymaker, damage on top, What? That's going to be the kill. Great knockup though, but KD is going to be able to run away. Genza is just trying his best to survive this power. Sanguine Pool is going to be used, but they are still going to get away from this. That's just a kill to the side of G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, and another heist for G2 Blacklist, right? A 1-for-0, but I would say a very hard commitment onto just one kill for G2 Blacklist. Especially considering that we are very close to the 5-minute mark, but KD is all about maximizing his power spike right now. I believe that Trinity Force is very close to being completed for the Vi, a very accelerated jungler, and this is what G2 Blacklist really wants to do, right? They just want to make sure that KT will be fed a whole lot and that he will have enough tools to carry the game for themselves. And so far, so good.
Yeah, fed enough. KD could definitely take the Rip Herald. They want to take this fight against their members. Level 8 on that Vi. I think this is going to be a fight that he wants to take.
Yeah, for sure, right? Draw, collapsing, so is Golden Kite.
Yeah, KD could go in. They have vision on this side of the map. They go in with a showstopper. They can go back again. They're going to be stealing it on the hands of Y1. They won't be able to do anything much except to survive for a bit. Wait, Strangletor to get the knockup. A draw is almost going to fall. Genza won't be able to throw that boomerang back again. And Cerberus Esports goes into Taku. Aaron is just going to be their target here. Taku would be able to flash away. No kills whatsoever just yet. They have the Rift Herald into the mid lane, but nothing yet for the side of Cerberus. This Rift Herald could get taken down. Yes, they still got it.
Yeah, still though, that is not the best way to use a Rift Herald. The tower is still open in mid lane, or the tower is still standing. Now there is vision around this dragon. That is a 2-for-2 objectives. Never mind what I said. Although, you know, one would say that G2 Blacklist could have hope for something, or for a first tower. With that Rift Herald, it doesn't matter if you get the first dragon of the game. That just means that, you know, one of the win conditions of Cerberus Esports, which is to go for the soul, is definitely out of the picture. And how many times have we seen draw plant vision around the red quadrant of Cerberus Esports? This is just when and where G2 Blacklist is at their best, right? When they go for aggressive plays and they combine their aggressive plays with immaculate macro and planting vision left and right, leaving Cerberus Esports out to dry over and over again.
Super hard for Cerberus Esports right now. The speed that G2 Blacklist is playing is really unchaseable here for Cerberus Esports, which is why they're having a hard time of finding any opportunities during that first 5 minutes. But right now, at least it's slowing down, and G2 Blacklist, they're not looking for any objectives, and this is going to be the chance for Cerberus Esports, especially here in the bot lane.
Yeah, but there's no minions to really catch tower shots, although that one would say it was the perfect opportunity for the Dr. Mundo to go for a potential dive. That's a 2-man knockup, but I don't think a 2v2 is something that Cerberus Esports will be winning, especially with the advantage that G2 Blacklist was able to get elsewhere in the map. And speaking of winning, Carl was able to destroy the tower on the top side by himself.
Now that draw is trying here. I think they're not going to go for the fight just yet, though. Aaron is just going to try and deal some damage here into the mid lane with the Hemo Plague. But BMM, nothing yet is happening here for both sides. G2 Blacklist really just slowing down the game.
That tilting, that cannon minion did not go over to Aaron.
Yeah.
We miss those, right? Like, happens to the best of us. But yeah, this is also one thing that we failed to talk about prior to this game starting, with all the experimental picks that Cerberus Esports brought out. Carl has actually done a very good job in controlling the top side to a point that he already has one item completed. And if he continues to again gap the top side, one of the win conditions of Cerberus Esports, which is to play the split push meta, will definitely go down the drain, with the advantage that G2 Blacklist is already getting, you know, at this stage of the game. Oh, KD?
Ooh, KD has been caught up.
He's level
the
10
Taco is not going to go in. Aaron just dealt some damage, but it's still not going to work out in their favor. Right now, Cerberus Esports still looking for their power spikes.
And G2 Blacklist wants to steal another resource away from Cerberus Esports. They're going for the blue buff.
Yeah, Carl has priority. Y1 wouldn't be able to get close. That's going to be a blue buff to the side of G2B.
Wow. Methodical approach. And again, G2 Blacklist at their best when they are playing this aggressive plant down division and just starve out all the scaling champions that Cerberus Esports have. And we talked about the Dr. Mundo. It's not the best early game champion in the game. And on the top side, this matchup is starting to hurt for the Jacks.
And we can see Taku might get caught here. They're gonna go for the ultimate, gets the stun. They have to counter strike onto this guy. Taku's gonna survive for a bit, but that's a kill still for G2B.
Yeah, and again, that's a heavy commitment from G2 Blacklist, but a kill nonetheless. G2 Blacklist just starving them out. Oh, BMM!
Oh, it's a good thing he wasn't rooted. Because of that, that could have been a chance for KD.
Yeah, I feared for the life of BMM because we know how squishy Zyra is. Very immobile as well. But I believe that the flash has been burned just to get the kill on the top side. Nonetheless, Cerberus Esports, again, just sharing whatever little resources that they have on the map, right? Like, this is when you know that G2 Blacklist was able to break down whatever Cerberus Esports is trying to plan for the early game of this game number 1, because you're seeing that the jungler is actually in the mid lane trying to take away some resources from his laners, and that's definitely not a good sign if you're a fan of the Vietnamese team.
Yeah, and also because of that, Cerberus Esports, just because of that last game, this could be the only chance that they could go for this experimental picks that we were talking about. But again, this could really push them back for game 2. But again, game's still not done. We still have a dragon coming up, and G2B is in position. They don't really have vision on the jungle side of Cerberus Esports, so it might be a chance for Cerberus.
And again, talking about the advantage that they were able to get, 10 minutes in G2 Blacklist, regardless of the situation, it being a 4v4 will still be beneficial for them. Now, Carl is here. It is a 5v4.
Goes in for BMM. Gonna go for the target. They got the pushback. That's a dead Zyra. Wasn't able to move, but Aaron's gonna be next here. Kendra's gonna go for the target. They got the ignite on his head. It's gonna be dead. Gonna be flashing away Carl. Super low in HP. A lot of members here right there. Low draw. It's gonna be sacrificing himself. G2 Blacklist is gonna fall down one by one. KD uses the stasis, but he's not gonna survive. Cerberus Esports turn tides around.
Talk about counter punching. G2 Blacklist went over aggressive just for 1 kill. This is what we were talking about, right? Like the over aggression being punished so hard by Cerberus Esports, and now all of a sudden they have flipped the script. They're getting a tower here in the mid lane, which is a very good injection of gold. Not to mention that they were able to secure the second dragon of the game. Oh man, if you're a G2 Blacklist, that's definitely not something that you wanted at that point. Let's look at that replay once again. BMM was able to cover a whole lot of ground, and this is a lot of commitment. You know, a lot of them went for the flash, and a lot of them went for just one single target, leaving Genza being able to free hit for the entire duration. This is still a Sivir that you need to respect.
Yeah, especially if they had on the hunt too, the mobility that this guy's had during that whole fight really helped them out, just getting Genza on a great position in that last fight. Now, because of that one fight, that 5k gold lead is down to 1k.
Wow.
So this is gonna be a big challenge now coming in from the side of G2B. They had the early game advantage, but how are they gonna keep that advantage back to their side?
That fast. Losing leads in Wild Rift. No game is unlosable at any point. But for now, G2 Blacklist on the top side, or I would say on the Baron lane side, is actually winning a whole lot. You look at the gold advantage that the Renekton was able to get against the Jax. That's 1.5k. That's as good as a half item already, which means, and you know, if this continues, G2 Blacklist is really poised to win one side of the map to a point that Cerberus Esports will really feel the pressure on that side of the map. Now, if you're G2 Blacklist, it's all about making sure that you don't commit the same mistake that just happened a while back, right? Like, they're still in the lead. They have to remember that they're still in the lead, and they still have a firm control of this game.
Yeah, they still have control over the map, so this is still a good spot for their side. So Cerberus Esports just keeping them thinking. G2 Blacklist, especially draw, needs to run away. Great getaway card with that Hextech Enchant.
Yeah, that's Protobell Enchant by Draw. One of the flashiest way to engage and disengage. Now, it's a 2-man defense against Cerberus Esports.
Yeah, they have on the hunt though. Aaron is going to be tanking up a lot of damage here, but that tower is going to fall down. Cerberus Esports just got a tower for free on the top side.
And there is no way for G2 Blacklist to respond to that. Draw is already less than half out. They can go for this tower though.
He was able to get it. Flash in. Counter-strike. Gets the stun, but he's going to be pushed back with the showstopper. Still not done, but on the backside, they had one of their teammates back in. KD fighting against 4. Still not a fight that they still can win. KD is going to be super low. Look at the damage coming from their side. It's still not done. They got the heals. Aaron is going to go to the Sanguine Pool. Going to go back. One member is going to be left alone. Carl is going to die, and Draw is going to be chased down. Genza, the damage is not going to be enough, but that Baron is looking scrumptious for Cerberus Esports.
Yeah, they do have a lot of tanky members to tank this Baron hits. And now G2 Blacklist is being left to face check the dark areas. Aaron and Golden Kite is still here. True Shot Barrage.
Yeah, True Shot Barrage. Not enough damage onto Y1. Aaron can be the target. They have the Hemo Flag on his head. Doesn't have the ultimate just yet, though. He doesn't have a lot of HP draw. He's going to come in. They have the Haymaker.
for the BMM.
Still going to go back Genza. The damage is on his head, but this is still going to be a Baron call. That's going to be the smite. Y1 still takes it, and Aaron is just going to chase down the members right here. Akeno would be able to run away with that dash, but this teleport is going to be the signal to run away for Cerberus.
Very tanky. Cerberus Esports was able to find a fight again that they were able to win. The tankiness. And Akeno, by the way, was pretty much the reason why Cerberus Esports was able to again win that team fight. His two-man knockup preventing KD from backing away and also allowing himself to crowd control Aaron was definitely the reason why Cerberus Esports is enjoying the Baron buff right now. Now they're trying to mitigate the damage by trying to push the waves as far as they could. But G2 Blacklist, all of a sudden, they are in a pinch here, Dash. Right? Like you're looking at a half duration of Baron that can still be used to push down towers.
Yeah, really surprised that things turned around really fast just like that. Cerberus Esports have been playing the team fights really well, especially when it comes to the macro side of things. That Baron call was really great. But now that they have a Genza being able to maneuver with that Sivir perfectly, that is also one of the biggest reasons why they're still keeping in touch in this game.
Yeah, and now G2 Blacklist is just being forced onto a corner. Y1's going to get targeted. Very tanky.
Goes with the passive, goes with the ultimate. Right now, they have the showstopper onto the backline. It's not really going to work out. Y1 still full HP, and Cerberus Esports is going to chase down G2B. Akeno too aggressive, as you said a while ago. That is something that he does a lot, and Akeno is still going to be able to survive.
Yeah, G2 Blacklist, they have one mission in mind, and that is to defend their towers. On the top side, being left alone is the Jax, and that's a very easy takedown of a tower. If you're G2 Blacklist, you cannot focus fire the Dr. Mundo. At this point in the game, he has already enough items to really mitigate all the all-ins that G2 Blacklist is planning. It's all about the sustained damage, and they don't really have that, right? Like, at this point, Cerberus Esports Y1 is showing why the Dr. Mundo can get picked against the Vi.
The question here is, how are they going to be able to destroy that front line that they have on the side of Cerberus Esports? They have two bodyguards that could really make it really hard for you to get to Genza. And Genza is the biggest win condition here of Cerberus Esports. Even if they kill BMM, it's going to be okay. BMM is just extra damage. But if they don't find a way to kill Genza, G2B is not going to win this game.
Genza is way ahead of Golden Kite. If anything, G2 Blacklist actually kind of wanted to have that gold advantage on the Dragon Laner side, not on the Baron side. But, you know, you can only do so much. They played around their Baron Laner so well. G2 Blacklist was able to open this game almost perfectly. But Cerberus Esports was able to weather the storm to a point that Genza is now starting to scare a whole lot of G2 Blacklist army.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard though. Even if they try to focus Y1, we saw a while ago what happened. So that's not gonna happen time and time again. And whenever Draw goes in, he's always left alone. Nobody is there to follow up just because Akeno is in front of everybody. Now, Elder Drake being started.
Elder Dragon win condition will definitely be up there. Now, Draw is level 12. Not really the best support performance from Draw, and he's being chunked out by the damage of the Zyra. Wow, okay, less than half health already.
Wait, they don't know where KD is. This could be a chance for them to go in, though. They're going to be pushing him back. They have the chance. 2k HP right now. He's cancelled, and he can't go in. Elder Drake's going to be taken. And with that, the Call of the Forge God is going to be called. KD's going to be chased down. Taku's going to go in, but still not enough damage for their side. They have the Elder Drake. Golden Kite being chased down. BMM is going to be getting the kill with the Elder Drake. The top side, Carl is pushing, and he could have been the hero for the team here.
Yeah, but Genza was able to recall away, and again, as we know, Sivir is one of the best marksmen. That's a teleport. Yeah, that's a teleport invested here, because Cerberus Esports will go for the end right here, right now.
Teleport coming in from the side of Cerberus. KD is going to be chased down. Knock out to their side. Y1 is going to get the kill there. And this is for naught. Whatever Carl did on the top side, it's still not going to be enough for them to hold out.
Yeah, that's a 4v5 Cerberus Esports enjoying a 5-man push right now, and is about to win game 1.
Carl trying his best, but that is not enough. Cerberus Esports is going to take the first game on a very big disadvantage in that early game, and they are getting a 1-0.
Wow, one team fight, reversing the fortunes of Cerberus Esports and putting the dent into the plans of G2 Blacklist. We did talk about Dr. Mundo as a potential counter pick to Devi. It didn't work in the early stages of the game, but you could see its impact towards the later stages. As long as you have the bodyguards in for Genza to free hit, Genza could still win you the game.
Yeah, honestly, really surprised about that first fight that happened. Or rather, the first big team fight that happened in that game, because that was a big loss for the side of Cerberus. But once it came to the second objective, that is when it started to go in their favor. And once they get the 2 dragons denying the soul 2, that is also one of the big things right there. But as you said, Genza was the biggest star of the show here for the side of Cerberus, because when you don't kill the Sivir, when he has 2 to 3 items, the Sivir is just gonna hurt.
Yeah, the Boomerang Blades, especially knowing that all the champions that was picked up here by G2 Blacklist, they're going to clump into each other, right? Especially in that one team fight that Cerberus Esports was able to find the breathing room that they needed. It was in a choke point, and we have to remember that when Genza loves to play the Sivir, right? You are on a choke point, all those Boomerang Blades, all those ricochets will hit its mark. And you're looking at the stats right now, 1-0 again in the favor of Cerberus Esports. And what can I say? I just don't think Zyra is a problem for G2 Blacklist. It's all about recognizing what to do at any given moment. And Cerberus Esports just has displayed that this is a team that you cannot discount.
Yeah, Cerberus Esports, remember, during the group stages when they started this, it is a 2-0. And now G2B needs to respect that fact against this squad. And Genza, even BMM, always has been a very great answer for the squad here. During the first team fight that they won, even if they killed BMM, it was still working out in favor of Cerberus Esports in that big team fight. But now, G2 Blacklist, remember, it's 7 games. We have 7 games here on the board, so it's still not done. It's still just a first win for Cerberus Esports. Y1 taking the MVP, getting that 4-1-6 on a Dr. Mundo. Honestly, deserve.
Stocks.
Yeah.
Rising for Y1, even after that big blunder of trying to steal away the blue buff of Just She, and even after all those game plans by G2 Blacklist, Y1 was still able to make himself so impactful to the point that he won the Game 1 MVP.
We were talking about how the stocks are going to go plummet down, but again, they were able to make it go high. Again, everybody, we're just going to take a short break before we head into Game 2. See you guys in just a bit.
Welcome to the top 5 highlights of the final week of Wild Rift League Asia group stages. While the situation in the APAC region seemed to be set, Cerberus Esports surprisingly defeated Trace Esports to finish in the top 2. In China, the top 8 teams that advanced only became certain when the final match ended. A group stage that brought a lot of new things compared to the previous Wild Rift League Asia season. Now let's dive to the top 5 highlights of week number 8. Starting with number 5. Trace Esports is still flying very high on the wings of Weiba, especially because of 7's performance. Facing Thunder Talk in the second game at 18 minutes into the game, Weiba transformed into a dragon and flew into the Baron Pit to steal victory for Trace Esports.
Shield of the Rand! It's perfect! But Trace Esports steals the Baron! This will be Weiba's time to shine, and they took it away from Thunder Talk to end the game. And now the Hextech ultimatum denied by their post. With Heroes entrance as well, zoning away, Tracy Esports are gonna flip into the backside. Korn has to use up the stasis, but going into the middle of it all, it's Z who gets deleted. The Baron Nashor with Tracy.
Number 4. Now this highlight, it's a combined effort of CF17 and Soldier. They had a stunning collaboration to steal the Elder Dragon against Keepest Gaming members at the 19th minute into the game of their second match.
Soldier, he might be able to go for the steal. Here's CF17, he's already inside. They got the kill on SCY, they got the steal in the end. J-Team is going to be running away with this. They got one on ZY, they have the Elder Drake on their side. They might be able to get the kill on KG. Xiaoma running away. 2 members are still alive on the side of KG. They got the 2 shots per watch. And that was it. Elder Drake has been taken.
Number 3. Yitze also made it to the top of the highlights of week number 8 with a great 1 versus 2 tower defense. At the beginning of the game, he became a target from once, but through his quick thinking, Yitze turned the hunter into a prey by taking both of the kills.
Oh yeah, because once, as soon as he saw, he was already in place. Yet said
No way!
he did. Oh god, he delayed that time for so long, and then the turret will keep him alive, just winning.
Number 2. The final 3-man turret freeze seemed easy, but SZY was too strong with his Renekton. With the power of the Crocodile and Ignite, SZY took 1 kill for himself and helped the team to secure 2 more kills.
Not really able to see anything, but on the other side, the same thing is happening, but on the other side, SZY, he actually manages to get the kill, and another kill by Soldier onto Chaz, and now that he's trapped behind enemy lines. 3 kills, 4 kills across the board for JT.
And number 1. The top 1 position for the final week of the group stages belongs to the ADC of Thundertalk, Soil. Right at the first minute of the second game when they met Nova Esports, Soil had a calm handling to turn a 3 versus 2 gank into a Nova Esports disaster to take a triple kill.
Good dredge line, layer of CC, and they know that Chenchi got no flash, but still.
Wait! Ooh!
With the damage, they still got to sustain, but here comes more. Looking for a target once again, uses the flash, a flash to flash, and a coast to coast of a kill.
Barrier.
Hitting.
Oh! Fruits!
And he's going.
There you go!
And a double kill, and everyone.
Which one did you love the most? Let us know in the comment section and keep supporting teams giving their all here in this tournament. My name's Giyang, and see you again on the next video.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death.
Welcome back, everybody. We're back to game 2, and this is a chance for G2 Blacklist to think about the draft and they be able to turn things around come this game 2. But now, Service Esports has momentum advantage, and G2B needs to really turn things around.
Yeah, in game number 2, we will be seeing the first set of adjustments that will be put into play by the coaches and by the coaching staff of both squads. I think, if anything, you can actually try to counter a Dr. Mundo by going for the double marksman composition. Like, the main reason why the Dr. Mundo was so impactful in game number 1, it's one of the best ways to deal with the Vladimir, because Vladimir doesn't really have a sustained DPS, right? Like, it's burst, similar to the Ezreal. None of those hard hitting Zeris that can easily shred down the Dr. Mundo. And imagine if it was the Zeri there, right? Like, it doesn't matter if you're hitting the Dr. Mundo because your ultimate will still allow you to reach the backline. So yeah, if anything, that Dr. Mundo, I believe, will only be just good for 1 game. It's not going to cheese out. It's not going to show himself up in the next few games.
Yeah, and one of the reasons also why Desire was effective that game was also because of the fact that everybody was going in. Remember, there was a showstopper, there was a cease and desist, everybody was going in. One Strangle Thorns was enough to stop the backline from following through. And that's why it was hard for them to position really well in that fight for G2 Blacklist. But in this game, I think they already thought of that. So they would really find a way to answer that Zyra now, or not even. Even if they don't answer the Zyra, it's all going to be okay for them.
I think the Zyra pickup, again, as we did say, is mid at best, right? Like, it wasn't really the best, most impactful champion we saw. Although there were times where we saw a 4-man knockup coming from her ultimate. But as you said it best, right? BMM acted as a decoy. Right? His role there was to be the biggest target for G2 Blacklist, and that's what happened, right? Like, he got targeted down, but as long as you were able to cast your ultimate, you're good to go.
Yeah,
that's one of my best roles in Wild Rift, right? Just as long as I can cast my ultimate, my job's done. Right? My teammate will have my back, and that's what happened for Service Esports. All those prolonged team fights, all those healings available for the Dr. Mundo, and the Kennel just being able to play almost perfectly. Come mid stages out of the game, was able to get all those crucial knockups against priority targets, and Cerberus Esports is now in the lead 1-0. Oh, looks like we're going to be in a very quick pause here. Y1 has reported a problem, and we'll attend to it very shortly.
Yep, and one of the problems too with having a Vladimir to an Ezreal Because you talked about it a while ago. Compared to a crit marksman, Ezreal, yes, has damage, but when it comes to taking down tanks, that is where that's where Ezreal is gonna have big problems. That's why here in this game, we could definitely think about how they're gonna be picking up the Ezreal, or would they have something else in mind for maybe the top lane or even in the mid lane, so that if ever they pick up the Ezreal for Demon Kite, who is also a great Ezreal player, they could have something like a DPS for those tanks.
You know who was the best, or who's the best tank shredder in the game?
Who?
I know Kog'Maw is not. Kog'Maw is not yet in the game, but Vayne is definitely going to be a very good pickup against the Dr. Mundo. Percent health damage, Blade of the Ruin King, as well, is one of his or one of her staple items. But that is looking too far forward from what is about to happen in the next few games. If anything, that last game was a very good reminder that the Dr. Mundo can easily counteract what Vi is made of, and that is to just go front to back and out sustain your opponent. If you are able to survive that initial burst, initial lockdown of the Vi, that just allows your team to come back with a counter punch that they don't have any way to stop. Because we saw at one point, G2 Blacklist, they tried to burst down the Dr. Mundo, a Dr. Mundo with a gargoyle stun plate, and not in 10 years can you burst that down.
Once he popped the gargoyle stone plate a while ago, then he uses maximum dosage. That was enough for him to heal full HP. He was able to heal full HP after, and that's why all their efforts were for naught. Now, G2B, now they need to think about that. Now, Dr. Mundo is in their heads in this coming game, so in this next draft, they would not really pick the Vi for sure, or at least they'll be cautious when they pick the Vi.
Wait. You're right. Maximum dosage is the ultimate of Dr. Mundo.
Yeah.
It used to be a different name.
It used to be called differently. I remember. I think no. That was his E. That was his E. Masochism is his E. When he gets damage and he gets extra damage, and when he is low HP, he gets extra damage.
So what was the original Dr.
I forgot
Mundo?
what the original was called. I forgot what it was called.
All right, I guess we need help from our chat. Do you guys know?
For old players, I think you guys know. We're old League of Legends players.
But if anything, Dr. Mundo is that one champion that really brings me pleasure when I play it. I don't know, it just fits my playstyle, I guess.
I think it's also the same with how the Cinch works, right? Like, you can go where you want to go, you get the damage, they get damaged themselves, and that's a type of playstyle that is really gonna work for old people like us, old people in the League of Legends scene.
True. But if anything, right, like Dr. Mundo really has this very satisfying way to win games. Right? Imagine them trying to burst you down and you end up surviving all those all-ins, which is pretty much what happened in game number 1. But looking ahead into game number 2, the thing that I'm really worried about the game 1 draft of G2 Blacklist is that this Vi is not the carry jungler that you can count on come late game, right? Like it's not going to carry you to the finish line. Unlike the Yone, unlike what other champions, H-Rocks, right? Like those are the champions that can really carry the game for you. Vi on the other side, or on the other hand, is all about enabling his teammates. And if anything, G2 Blacklist, again, their win condition centers around Just She played a very good early game, but even with the advantages that he was able to get gold-wise against his jungle opponent, it did not matter because his champion is not the same carry champion that we are accustomed to seeing.
Yeah. Vi is the tone champion, and I will always see that from the tone. So there you go, everybody.
He's so good at it, though.
He's so good at it, but it's not a carry champion. Again, everybody. Oh, they go in and ban the Vi themselves. That's not gonna be a problem anymore. And Mundo is not gonna be seen anymore this time just because of that.
The Kha'Zix is pretty much one of the champions that I'm really looking forward KD will be able to play in this game. That's a champion that I believe he has the most success in. Although we are, we could still see it ban away against him because Cerberus Esports is all about that, right? Like if if anything, they target down KD, the chances of them winning will actually be a whole lot better. But it does look like that they're going with the same set of bans. They're going to ban away the Zoe and the Lucian as well.
Yeah, they don't really have a lot of options now here. Evelyn's gonna be open, which is good if ever Cerberus Esports is not gonna ban that. That's gonna be an open champion for G2B. So that could be an option, but Cerberus Esports could answer that back with a Camille maybe. Now Evelyn is open, so G2B, would they hesitate to actually take it?
No, definitely not, because KT is, although there was a very forgettable game of Evelyn for G2 Blacklist, I still firmly believe that Evelyn really fits the playstyle of KT.
There you go.
He's one of the best assassin players that we have in the game. And being unlocked on this champion, which really has won a lot of games during the group stages, just from her presence alone and just from her tower diving alone, is going to be prioritized here by G2 Blacklist. A very good first pick.
Yeah, gonna go for the Renekton for the lockdown if ever they need that extra for the fight against this Evelyn that they're gonna fight against. So what would Y1 answer this with? Would this be a Lee Sin or maybe even a Camille on their side just for them to shut down this Evelyn, not let her get that last caress whenever Hextech Ultimatum is up? That's gonna be a question because so far I haven't seen any nerfs from the Evelyn.
Nope. no, she's not going to get nerfed. Because if anything, I really think that the Evelyn is in a very balanced state. There was one time in where she was very OP, but all the other mages are OP because of the crown item. But that has been since nerfed. But right now, Cerberus Esports is going to lock down one of the champions that we thought would have been very helpful for G2 Blacklist in the Zeri. And G2 Blacklist is going for an ultimate duo combo.
Classic.
Yeah, the classic one of having a Hextech Ultimatum into the hero's entrance.
Yeah, but Zyra is still going to be picked up here for Cerberus. This is going to be a problem though. I can see a problem on that Zyra pick just because there's an Evelyn, but it's also good because it could be a good counter to the Hextech Ultimatum in the hero's entrance.
Yeah, true. But the amount of time that is needed to burst down the Zyra, I'm so looking forward. I'm so looking forward to a one-shot potential coming in from KT. But then again, again talking about Evelyn in a nutshell, right? Like just the fact that you can go past most of the wards in the game, and just the fact that you are also able to drop the tower aggro makes her a very good champion in the meta that we have. It's all about getting the tower dives in the early stages of the game, right? And Evelyn is the perfect champion to do so. The amount of burst that she has as well is a very good thing to have against the squishy champions like the Zeri and the Zyra, the double Z combo here by Cerberus Esports. So it's definitely something to look forward to if you're a G2 Blacklist.
Yep. And now the bans, look at that. They're even banning the Ashe. They're not really letting them get the hold of those CCs. Even banning the Yasuo on this side so that the roots coming in from BMM is not going to be stopped. But again, they still have the Alistar option here for Akeno. However, they still need a support on their side. So their priority is going to be... Wait, what is there going to be? Yeah, the Alistar is going to be a first pick here.
Okay, one thing that is needed is a tanky support because there's no way that Cerberus Esports will survive with an enchanter support, right? Leaving 3 potential targets for KD. That will be a fiesta overall for the Evelyn. And so this is going to be a very good pick because that is also one way to counteract the Evelyn. You CC her down and that will allow for you to get the killing blow onto a very squishy assassin as well. But this is also a very good pickup by G2 Blacklist. This is going to be the Varus, which is one of the best champions of Golden Guy. They're going for the double marksman here.
Yeah, there's a lot of damage onto the side of G2B. I love this. This composition could really shred down all the tanks that they could put out on the side of Cerberus. The Cerberus, what is their answer gonna be once this Corki gets picked up to their side? Because they still don't have a jungler on their name. A Shen could be an open option here, but they would be losing in the damage department. But Kha'Zix is going to be picked up, which is the usual answer whenever you see an Evelyn on the other side.
Right, but at least in my eyes, right? Like there's been a lot of times that the Evelyn got matched up into the Kha'Zix, and oftentimes we say that the Kha'Zix should have the early game advantage, but there are instances in where I see tempo advantage to the Evelyn just because of the fact that her clear speed is ahead by a little bit against the Kha'Zix. So that's definitely something that we are to look forward to. at level 5 as well. The Evelynn is going to be a very scary opponent for the Kazakhs. Then again, yeah, we are going to enter game number 2 with the same set of 5 for G2 Blacklist. Ime has yet to play.
Yeah, Carl is still back here for the side of G2B to get... I mean, the performance of Carl from this last game was really commendable just because he was able to shut down that Jax. That Jax Taku, yes, was able to get much, but he was not the star of the show that game. It was a lot more of Genza being the star of the show that game rather than the Jax. But again, it's going to be a good option here for G2B because they have a lot of damage that they can work with. And I'm really liking how they're going to be going with this composition.
With the Hextech Ultimatum available for Carl, his role here will definitely be a lot different, right? Like, he needs to be present in almost all team fights. It's not going to be the split push action, what we've seen numerous times from Carl. I really think that, you know, the two Baron laners that G2 Blacklist has, Ime and Carl, I think that Carl has the better laning mechanics overall. We've seen a lot of promises from this young guy. Yeah. But when it comes to team fighting, I still think that Ime has a very good grasp of what to do, when to do it, and is the perfect player to really pilot the Camille because his Hextech ultimatums more often than not are very on point.
His positioning whenever it comes to those big team fights, especially when it comes to the dragon fights, is so good. That's why I think Ime is good at taking team fights into his own hands. But I think what G2B wants as a team right now is just those consistent laning so that they would be able to shut down Taco in the other lane. But again, really surprised that Cerberus Esports didn't see this coming. Like, they did this during the last game, and they're doing it again, but at least Genza is going to be able to help out, but still not really going to do much.
Yeah, it's going to be a vertical jungle, and there's really no way to prevent Cerberus Esports from stealing the blue buff of G2 Blacklist, a trade, a tit for tat, as we would love to call it. But nonetheless, it's going to still be in formation provided, especially when Carl pops this Crying Bloom. He will be able to see the jungler of Cerberus Esports, which allows G2 Blacklist bottom lane to still play aggressive.
Yeah, what I'm really surprised of is in this meta is how Evelynn has been a really great pick for everybody, and even the Kazakhs together with it. Because most of the time, the reason why you can see an Evelynn being a meta in solo queue is because she's a very solo queue champion. But it is working right now, and Akeno is being chased down. No HP, he's going to be dead, and Genza is going to be able to run away. And that's a first blood for G2B.
Okay. Let me guess, I think that's a missed combo from Akeno. Because that's the only... Wait, steal? Oh, KD.
Was he able to steal it? Now gonna go in. Genza is gonna be dead, and that's 2 kills already for G2B.
That's a big bonus for G2 Blacklist. They did not need the last caress, and the ultimate still being available for KD means that there could be a round number 3 here in the bottom lane. But KD and company will definitely be enjoying, again, another good lead. Here, I think Akeno... The only reason why...
too far forward.
Yeah, he was too far forward. The only reason why he is that close is if he messed up his combo. And we did not really see it. Yeah, I think he did.
Because if he didn't mess up his combo, he could have used the headbutt a while ago. But because he didn't, he messed that up. Yeah. And that's the reason why.
And it's so hard to win against... Oh, KD. Oh, no.
Gonna go in again. Genza a bit too aggressive, though. Whenever there's an Evelynn on the other team, you shouldn't be doing that. Look at the flash, and the last caress is available. White one a bit too late.
Yeah.
And G2B gets another kill.
Yeah, and even the Scockler vision that provides some move speed here and there just allowed another assassination and another bonus for the jungler of G2 Blacklist. This is what we were saying, right? Like, as the Evelynn, your primary role is to be that threat against the squishy champions that Cerberus Esports has, and looks like that we are going for another invade here by G2B.
Yeah. Right now, KD is going to go again. Doesn't have the last caress, but does have the Hero's Entrance to help him out. Y1 is going to be seen. He's going to get the damage, but KD's going to survive, and that's another kill for G2B.
And again, perfectly choreographed here by G2 Blacklist. Akeno, ultimate.
Yeah, goes in. Damage. Akeno's going to die, but they still aren't going to take that blue buff, and G2B is just taking over this game.
Yeah, no mana for Aaron though, and BMM flashing in.
Yeah, too aggressive coming into their side. BMM is going to die in the process. That's going to be a kill, but Genza Look at them, he still survives. That Ultra Shock Laser almost got the kill in Golden Kite.
Yeah, that's just one kill for like how many champions the G2 Blacklist was able to get in that exchange. Time and time again, G2 Blacklist knows how to push their advantage to the limit, and G2 Blacklist is now enjoying a sizable lead again here in game number 2 with a good chunk of gold lead heading over to the Dragon Laner this time. This is definitely the best thing that you could hope for if you're a G2 Blacklist, right? A 1.5k advantage for the Varus.
Yeah, giving Varus all the advantage, especially in the early game, is good just because the amount of poke damage that he could deal, especially on those important times, is going to be great. Especially in this first objective, it's going to be a really good key for their side.
Perfect, right? Like, plus, Y1 needs to be careful. Just the fact that G2 Blacklist was able to choreograph that invade coming in from KD with the hero's entrance, draw, using the Justice Punch to really get his mark onto the Kazakhs instead of using the taunt immediately was just perfectly played by Draw. And again, now G2 Blacklist, they do have all the luxury in the world to choose what objective they would go for.
They would want to contest though. Last caress a bit too early for KD. That might be the signal for CES to actually go in, and that's going to be the knockup. Triangle Thorns at the Golden Kite. The Keno wants to go in. He's left alone here. Nobody's here to help him out, but he's tanking a lot of damage.
Yeah, and no more mana for Golden Kite. No more arrows to poke them down, but KD can still go for the contest.
What happened? Now Y1 is going to go in. Aaron's going to go. That damage is going to be enough. Y1 could die here in the process, but look at the back line though. Still not dead. Y1's going to go back. He's going to be taking this dragon. He's dead. What a great poke from Golden Kite, and they're still going to take the objective to their side.
I think Golden Kite was able to find some fruits, allowing him to get some more mana and HP. And Cerberus Esports, with all the desperation and with all the good plays that they were able to do in controlling that Dragon team fight, it ended up as a disaster. And now G2 Blacklist is going over to the Rift Herald.
Almost the same as what happened during game 1. G2B just taking both of the objectives and getting a 5k gold lead after this, after they used the Rift Herald in the mid lane. So that is again a great start for G2 Blacklist. I hope that they won't be able to just lose in that 10-minute fight after.
The package value, again, time and time again, still needs to be respected, and G2 Blacklist was able to force Cerberus Esports into a corner. You see that piercing arrow, piercing the hearts of the fans of Cerberus Esports and getting the dragon for G2 Blacklist. You're hoping for a continuation or for a very good mid-game coming in from G2 Blacklist. I know for a fact that there's a lot of fans of G2 Blacklist hoping the same. So
yeah. So I really do hope that they won't be able to really throw the lead that they had this like in
this is
game
so
1, because with this big lead that they have and the Rift Herald is still in their hands, it is still possible that they could just snowball this game out of control, especially when you have an Evelyn that is that fed.
It's all about looking at the win conditions of Cerberus Esports, right? Like, what is their win condition? Oh, hang on.
Yeah, Keno. Oh no, KD just died. Wasn't able to move after that fight.
This is what we were saying, right? Like, the Alistar and the Zyra can really crowd control the Evelyn down, very squishy, with no ultimate. There's really no way to survive. But yeah, just going back to my point, as we look into this replay, let's see. Is this going to be a Rift Herald summon?
Oh, he wasn't able to move after. What a great move.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, just going back to my point earlier, right? Like the win condition for Cerberus Esports is always going to be Genza, but Genza is so gapped right now. And you're looking at the 1.5k advantage to the marksman of G2 Blacklist to a point that Genza, even facing against Aaron, is actually at a very big disadvantage. Draw!
Yeah, goes in, goes side. Genza was able to really
Flash
go
in,
away,
boom,
but
big
that
one.
missile barrage is enough.
Yeah, that's the big one, right? Like, and this is what we were saying, right? Like the amount. Oh, Golden Kite.
Golden Kite's gonna be
Hero's
dead
Entrance.
here. Hero's Entrance. Perfect timing. Chain of Corruption. They're not gonna be able to move. They're so tanky that they're not gonna die even with that botch dive.
Yeah, exactly. And G2 Blacklist, again, with the value of the Hero's Entrance being at the right place at the right time, they're still able to get something positive for themselves. I really think that Cerberus Esports, they really lack a very clear win condition right now in the game. Because Genza is so far behind that it's almost going to be a very tall task, impossible task for Cerberus Esports to actually come back into this game. Because oftentimes when we see a comeback similar to what happened in game number 1, your carry still has a very good gold amount in him, right?
Yeah.
But you're looking at the gold of Genza, 5.6k. Only a Keno is poorer than Genza.
Yep, that's the sad thing about this. So if Genza wouldn't be able to find any kills here, at least get a shutdown onto Carl here in the bot side of the map, that is not gonna go good for this squad, because the only thing that could carry them in this game is gonna be Genza. And before the 10-minute mark, he needs to get his second item. Before that happens, I think it's gonna be a tall task, but Y1 is gonna be chased down by draw, and it's still not a kill. At least they got a tower mid lane.
And now Genza is just being forced to help out Y1 in this blue buff. Not even some gold being funneled onto Genza right here, right now. I really think if G2 Blacklist was able to corner down Cerberus Esports, even if they give away a team fight or two, just as long as Genza won't be able to recover from this big hole that he is currently facing, G2 Blacklist will have this in the back. We're going to enter game number 3 with no one at the advantage.
Yep. Still have the objective 10 seconds before it comes out. I think Cerberus Esports doesn't have the position to fight this out. Good vision from the side of G2B.
Yeah.
Cerberus is not going to back away from this.
Yeah, and Golden Guy is just throwing some arrows, just letting making his presence felt and just poking down all the members of Cerberus Esports even before they got into the position. The BMM's value and Zyra's value will be put into display here, Dash. This is what I'm waiting for, right? Like, is Zyra really a very good pick on competitive? We're about to find out.
We should not wait for them to get that package down. So this is going to be the time KD is just going to take this for free. Cerberus Esports didn't do any action from that objective take, and G2B is just going to take that.
Yeah, and that's the second dragon out the game, leaving and pushing Cerberus Esports into a bigger hole. Because now G2 Blacklist can just play it out properly, patiently, and wait for the third dragon to spawn up in the game. It's the Infernal map, which means that there is an Infernal Soul waiting to join G2 Blacklist. That's what I would say the perfect dragon for the composition of G2 Blacklist, knowing that they have the double marksman. Just imagine the damage that is going to be unlocked by the soul if it ever joins G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, now KD already in the top side of the map, just won't be able to find anything as long as they're gonna have a problem with that wave clear department, because on the side of G2B, it's gonna be easy enough for them to wave clear. That's why it's so hard to push for Cerberus.
Yeah, it's like the only positive point for Cerberus Esports is Taku on the Renekton, but 400 gold isn't really that big, especially knowing that this is a winning matchup for the Renekton either way, right? Like, against the Camille, you should really be winning hard. Draw?
Yeah, Genza. They're not going to go for the flash, though. They use the exhaust on KD. That's enough for them to push the top side of the map.
I feel for Genza. Genza is not being allowed to play.
Yep, goes in, hook shot, backline. Y1 is going to be the target. Hero Sense is going to be used, and that's going to be a knockoff to their side. Y1 survives. They still have a Kennel on their target. Stoppable Will is just going to be enough for him to survive for just a bit, but that's still a kill onto their side.
Yeah, even the Renekton got assassinated by KD and Aaron, and they're looking at the baby Baron. This is going to be a very juicy target.
Yeah, there's going to be a Baron being taken because Y1's so far away, doesn't have the HP to contest this. Genza is going to be seeing what's happening here. 2k HP is where they're going to be leaving it. But Y1 is not going to get even close here because Draw and Carl are just using themselves as walls.
Yeah, very methodical approach by G2 Blacklist. A very good Baron secure by them overall. 3 towers to 0, and that's just going to double very, very soon. Just in time for them to open up the map and, further their goal lead for the potential Dragon Soul. I guess this is already in the bag. G2B got this.
Yeah, especially if they don't really need to be as fast as they could. That's what happened during the last game, because once they slow down, that is when Cerberus Esports would be able to go back. But now everything is stable. G2B is just taking the game slow, and once they get there, it is gonna be okay. Their best objective is to shut down Genza, and they did it already. That's enough.
Exactly, right? Like, he was not allowed to play the Wild Rift here in game number 2.
Can't even play.
Cerberus Esports. Oh, a Kennel.
Yeah, Ken goes in for the dive with a combo, but still not going to be enough for them to do anything much. With this Baron, this is going to be a free tower in the top side and even in the mid lane, so G2B is just going to take it for free. But top bot side, though, goes in for the Hero's Entrance. Still got the kill, but at least they got a 1-for-1.
It's a 1-for-1 now. Draw has to be careful. Is getting targeted. KD will still be very mobile, avoiding a Keno at all costs. Aaron!
Oh, goes in for the 1v1. Y1 was able to run away. Aaron goes in for the flash, but he wasn't able to see where Y1 is. Genza, I think he wants to get some kills though. Still gonna follow through, but right now KD is gonna be running away. This mid lane is for free for G2B, and they're just gonna take that tower down. But right there onto the back line, Genza wants to go for the fight. Still gonna go for the slow. Y1 is gonna go for the void spikes, but Genza is still not successful in getting his first kill. Golden Kite wants to go for a 1v1, and that is gonna be a shutdown for Cerberus.
Yeah, allowing KD to survive, that I believe is the goal. Sacrificing himself in the process, because it's all about getting the soul that is about to spawn up in 20 seconds, more or less. And yeah, we're looking at the state of that game. Yeah, sure, Cerberus Esports was able to finally get the shutdown kill against Demon Kite, but Demon Kite has yet to buy an enchantment, which means that he can still buy a teleport to join his team if needed. So yeah, Cerberus Esports is still in a very big hole.
Yeah, they can still go for a fight though. Keno. Okay, they got to slow down. Now this is going to be a time for Cerberus to try. This is going to be their last chance. Once this soul goes to the side of G2B, it's going to be the end of it for the side of Cerberus.
Teleport.
Yeah, goes into the teleport to the back line though. Keno goes in for the knockup. Carl goes in. Y1's going to be his target. They're going to be getting the soul. No, they're not going to be getting the soul. PMM is going to fall down, and this is still Cerberus just going to fall down one by one to the side of G2B. Nobody fell down. Keno is going to be next, but he's going to be left alone here just to defend for himself.
Yeah, and that's the evening team fight that G2 Blacklist needed to finalize everything. It's a 1-1 after game number 2.
It's a very slow game, but again, it was just G2B just taking the advantage from minute 1, or rather minute 5, until the end of that game.
It's a wire-to-wire game, right? Like the moment that it started, and the way they played around their bottom lane this time, not allowing Genza to have the resources that he needs to help his team come back from the massive hole, was a very good game plan being implemented and executed by G2 Blacklist, and now we're entering game number 3. All knotted, all even.
What's so hard about that though is when you're fighting against an Evelyn, you always need to think about where the Evelyn is going to go, because even when you have wards, it's really not going to be effective for you guys. That's why Evelyn has been a constant that in this meta, just because of that fact, because she can move from place 1 to place 2 really fast, and also she's invisible while she's doing that, so you get zero information on where that jungler is going to be.
Yeah, very good, very good priority pick from G2 Blacklist, and as we did say, right, like that was a perfect champion for KD to capitalize whatever goal lead he will ever get in a game, right? In game number 1, we saw a Vi, and we saw we saw KD playing the Vi, which was very effective at the early stages, but you know, it's all about converting that lead into something bigger come mid stages, and with the Evelyn, dude, you can snowball the game for sure.
Yeah, the Evelyn is just so good at getting that snowball in the early game, just letting Golden Kite farm all those kills for himself, and that's why he was able to get a good amount of gold in the early game, shut down Genza, and that's what happens whenever you pick the Zeri early, and when a Varus goes into the other side, that Varus is gonna make that Zeri's life a living hell here.
Yeah, the range advantage at the early stages, right? Like the 2v2 potential, the first blood being gifted by Akeno. And we did say that Akeno, there are a couple of times that we see very crucial mistakes by Akeno. And that happened here in game number 2. Now, how will Cerberus Esports respond to this massive beatdown that G2 Blacklist was able to get? Because if anything, Dash, let's be honest, like back-to-back games, G2 Blacklist was able to dominate the early stages. If this continues on, it really starts to deflate you as a team.
Yep. As long as they don't trip during the mid-game, that is one of the strengths here of G2B. Getting the first 5-minute double objective is a big flex to the other squad. And if ever that happens again this coming game, That's going to be a question for Cerberus Esports that they need to find an answer to, because those jungler picks are so good. Now, we're going to go to game 3 after the short break. See you guys in just a bit.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
Welcome to the top 5 highlights of the final week of Wild Rift League Asia group stages. While the situation in the APAC region seemed to be set, Cerberus Esports
We're going to go to game 3. It's now a 1-1. G2B was able to answer back during that last game. But again, this is going to be game 3 between those squads. Who is going to dominate after this 1-1?
I will be reserving my opinion after seeing the draft. But in game number 2, it was clear that G2 Blacklist really maximized the blue side priority of getting that Evelyn, snagging it away from Cerberus Esports. And although, as you did say, or as we did try to discuss, a Kha'Zix is a very good pick against the Evelyn. That got negated by the very good early game planning of G2 Blacklist going for the vertical jungle.
Yeah, it's going to be hard here for Cerberus Esports to be able to counteract that. I mean, they've done it during 2 games already, so I hope they would be able to answer that. Evelyn is going to be banned. They don't want to see that again this coming game, and Vi is also out of the picture here for both squads. So Cerberus doesn't have a lot of options except for an Ornn that they could go for in the jungle.
Yeah, that's... Ornn will most likely be the priority for Akeno still. In game number 1, we saw its impact. The main reason why they were able to come back from that big hole was Akeno unlocking Genza and allowing him to play his Sivir. Very safe in the backline for G2 Blacklist. What will be their priority this time? I feel that Kha'Zix is a very good pickup for G2 Blacklist right here, right now. Can still get countered or answered by the Lee Sin, but it's a player's matchup, right? It's skills matchup. And I really think that KD, if given the position to have a 1v1 duel between the Kha'Zix and the Lee Sin, he should have the advantage.
Yeah, I'm really surprised how things changed just because of 4.4D, and people haven't been prioritizing like how they did during the last week that we had for group stages. The Aatrox, they always prioritize the Aatrox when it comes to this picks, but because of the nerfs, they really go for other champions right now. Sever could still be picked here for the side of Cerberus Esports. This Corki pick from the side of G2B is also a good pick because they were successful during the last game.
Is Y1 confident to play the Aatrox? Because this is one of the best angles for it, right? Like you have the Aatrox and the Sivir plus an Ornn. So the long range engage, the team fighting potential of those 3 pickups by Cerberus Esports is going to be very advantageous for them. And yes, we are right. It will be the Aatrox, but instead of playing the Zyra, BMM had enough, right? Like it's not working. And so they
still not done though. It's still not done and picking up the Zyra. That's why they're still gonna go back to the drawing board, picking up the Zeri. Yasuo is gonna be picked for Aaron here in the mid lane. So this is gonna be a good game just to counter that Ornn.
Yeah, and the potential double marksman composition being played here by Cerberus Esports is definitely going to be up there. The only concern I do have is that Cerberus Esports can still flex and have a Jax to answer the Yasuo in the mid lane. Which brings me to the question, is BMM confident to play the Jax in the mid lane, or is it just going to be taken away by G2 Blacklist? They haven't picked a Baron laner as of yet, here Dash.
Oh, that's true though. They would have a possibility of picking up a Gwen too on their side for the side of G2B if ever that's not going to be banned, so that they won't really have a lot of options for those double marksmen for the side of Cerberus Esports. So there's a chance still because of the Vladimir getting banned. There's really not a lot of options that they could have in the mid lane for the side of Cerberus.
And they ban away the Jax, which leaves the Gwen as a potential matchup against the Yasuo. We're going to find out as to how Cerberus Esports will be playing this one out, because if it will ever be a double marksman composition, I really think that the Yasuo's value will definitely be up there. Now they're banning away the champions of Just Chi. How many jungle bans have we seen in this game? In game 3, that's a total of 4 jungle bans being targeted away from Y1 and KD.
Yeah, for next gen is going to be picked up here for G2B, just for them to have that safety again in their lane. A Camille is still a possibility for the side of Cerberus Esports because they would really need a Baron lane on their side still. But again, for their side, what are their options in the mid lane? That's going to be the question. They could go for, if the Jax is banned, they could go for a Gwen just for them to have that early game duel advantage against a Yasuo, but still not the best pick to go for.
Yeah, if it was Z, surely it will.
Yeah,
if it was Z, if it was N9, then it will definitely be an easy pickup of the Gwen in the mid lane. So it will be a top lane Aatrox, which leaves the Lee Sin still available for the taking for Y1. We don't have a jungler yet for G2 Blacklist. Is it a Nautilus angle, you think?
There is a chance that they can actually go for the Nautilus, but a Yone is still also a good possibility for them. I mean, Yone has been nerfed a lot when it comes to the jungling, but could still be a pick that they could go for. A Jace, but the 50% is really just making it hard for them.
Okay.
Yeah, Yone is better. Yeah, just go for the Yone.
Yeah, and this is G2 Blacklist, just learning from what happened in game number 1. We cannot allow KD to play all those champions that will play for the team. We need to play for him, not ask him to play. Exactly, not ask him to play. Yeah, you're right? Like the brothers. Oh
The
man,
Wind Bros are here. Yeah.
Edgelords.
Yeah. Having the Wind Bros in this game could definitely make it fun for the viewers out there, because you don't usually see this every day. You see this on solo queue, yeah, but here you don't see it much. But again, it is also because of the fact that they didn't really have any choices now in the jungle. That's why they have to pick up the Yone in the jungle.
The chess match between the coaching staff of Cerberus Esports and G2 Blacklist is in full display here in game number 3. And it ended up with a champion that we all know KD is very capable in playing. One of the champions that I feel is still at a premium in carrying in the jungle role is the Yone. It all comes down to how will G2 Blacklist play around KD. It's not as aggressive as what we saw from the Evelyn. So I don't expect a 3k goal lead out of the blue or out of after 3 minutes. It will just be a very slow and methodical approach this time by G2 Blacklist to help Yone scale up.
Yeah, no mages in this game because the mage options have been banned, but at least we have a poke marksman in the game, which is going to be the core key. That is where the AP is going to go for the side of G2B.
Exactly.
But again, Cerberus Esports doesn't have that option in their side, so they would need to really get that early game in their favor.
Yeah, and now the answer by Cerberus Esports, by the way, to the Yasuo pickup in the mid lane is another melee champion, the Camille, which we have seen for a good amount of time. Whenever a Yasuo gets picked up, this is also an option that you can consider. Just the fact that you have the Exec ultimatum is a very good thing to have. The early stages of the game. Now, Aaron, by the way, is still running the defensive Yasuo, going for the grasp instead of the all-in damage potential of the Conqueror Yasuo. But it's kind of expected though, right? Like, especially in competitive, that you need all the defenses and all the stacking component available to you.
Yeah, and a very big difference from this game though. They're going to be starting to fight Ultra Shock Lasers, not going to hit. But again, back to my point. What I was saying was, big difference from this game is that KD is not going to go for the invade because he's playing a Yasuo against a Lee Sin, or rather a Yone against a Lee Sin, so that's not going to be possible here.
Exactly, right? Like, this is definitely be at a different playstyle altogether for G2 Blacklist. They're not going to play the early game strategy of trying to win the lane, win the game, and go for the early game invades. It's all about protecting your carry, protecting your king. And KD, when allowed to have all the resources come mid-game, come late-game, it will be a very scary sight.
Ooh! Yeah, goes in, body slam, cancels the dash coming in from Akeno. So that is G2B, again, just playing it slow compared to the last game.
I know, but that's one of the best interactions that we have in the game, canceling out the audacious charge. Oh, KD.
This is what we're saying, though. KD is going to have a problem here. Great spike coming from Y1. First blood for the side of Cerberus.
Yeah, this is definitely the time for Y1 to show what he is made of and returning the favor against KD.
Yeah, goes in for the fight. Y1 can still take this for free, and that's going to be that. They were able to take it for themselves. Y1's going to be able to flash away, and that's going to be perfect. They were able to get it, but Golden Tide still going to get the kill for their side. No, BMM is going to be going for the answer. Draw does have the body slam. KD is going to try to get the kills. Knock us on too. And BMM is going to be the next target here. At least they got more than they needed for the side of G2B.
G2 Blacklist Golden Tide getting that triple kill was clutch. Getting the double buff was what he needed to get that blue and slow available for himself. Let's look at that replay once again, right? Like, this is a level 5 Y1 Lee Sin, and you look at the play here by Aaron, that's so quick. That's a very quick set of thinking, right? Like he wanted to make sure that the Sonic Wave won't be able to save him, flashing himself into the danger of the knockup coming in from a Keno, but it allowed Golden Kai to get all those kills in return. And in the end, G2 Blacklist was on the positive side of things, getting 4 kills to 2.
Y1 tried to go for the invade, but was not successful. Knockup Fate Seal's not going to hit. Taku was able to flash away, but now he's going to be chasing down Carl. Carl, look at the Darken Blade, going to hit for 2, but it is not enough to go for the execute. Y1's going to be here. Sonic Wave's not going to hit.
Yeah, and now G2 Blacklist did dodge a bullet on the top side. I thought for a second that Taku was being very aggressive against a Renekton that is full rage. You don't really want to chase him down. But the fact that Y1 and company was actually there to provide backup means that G2 Blacklist did go for the wiser play, and that is to back away. But yeah, we're looking at the state of the game. So far, Y1 is enjoying a good lead against KD, which is kind of expected because this is a Lee Sin, an early game focused champion against a Yone late game.
Yeah. First 5 minutes is where this composition is going to shine for the side of Cerberus. They would need that Lee Sin to make those plays in order for him to accelerate all the carries that they have in the squad of Cerberus. But now G2B, with them, they would really need to hold on to what Carl could do for the team so that they would be able to secure whatever Cerberus is not going to take.
Exactly, because on the top side, that is the only thing that I believe that G2 Blacklist needs to work on. In the mid lane, you have Golden Kai that is so ahead of tempo. So, you know, regardless of who is to face Golden Kai, it's definitely going to favor Golden Kai. And you look at Genza, easily transitioning on towards the top side and being allowed breathing space right here, right now, because he cannot face against Golden Kai, especially with the advantage that he was able to get.
Yeah. Right now, what they can do here, secure the top side of the map, go in for the Rift Herald. Still have some vision at the bottom side of the map, though. Lightning Crash going to be used. Exhaust from Aaron is going to go in. Damage not going to be enough. Aaron's going to survive, but they won't be able to contest this because Aaron's out of the picture.
Yeah, Draw is here to provide backup, just to make sure the tower on the top side will be defended.
Might be a bit too late, though, KD. It's gonna go for the Fate Sealed here for sure. Bit too late. Body Slam's gonna be used. Aaron went in with the last breath. They're gonna go for the fight. That's gonna be the kill. And that is one down for their side, though. G2B is not gonna be able to get more than they can chew. But Golden Guy's gonna go to the backline, chase down Akedo, and he's gonna take one. But for the shutdown, Golden, I'm not sure if that's
Genza. Yeah, okay, so one thing that really confused me there was the Umbral chains connecting on towards the Corki, and that was the perfect opportunity for the package to be used. He used it so late and ended up with him gifting the shutdown gold over to the worst possible champion to gift it to, and that's Genza. So that's definitely a very big blunder that I know for a fact that Golden Kite wants to revisit.
Yeah. And because of that kill, though, they weren't able to get the Ice Drake after the fact that they got their referral on the side of Cerberus Esports. So G2B wasn't able to find anything in the fight except for giving the other team the shutdown gold that Genza pretty much needed. So now, Rippearl could be threatened in the mid lane before they take this Ice Drake.
Exactly, and you're looking at a sizable gold lead. The advantage of Cerberus Esports, they're really capitalizing on the early game advantage this Lee Sin does possess right now. G2 Blacklist trying to go and damage control by getting the dragon.
Yeah, it's a good thing that they were able to take it, and Cerberus Esports didn't really had any chances there. Body slam, and with that explosive cast, Akeno's gonna be dead here, but that mid lane turret is the sacrifice.
Yeah, it's this is what we were saying, right? Like there are times in where Akeno is being caught out of possession, and that was G2 Blacklist capitalizing on that mistake. Now Y1 getting targeted here by KD, level 8 to level 9, and KD is still feeling confident in this matchup.
Yeah, we lost one member though. Now, with the body slam and the knockup straight seal together with it, that combo is enough to get the kill in Y1.
That's a Project L moment, everybody.
That was not supposed to be in this game, guys. He was not able to move, but again, gonna go for the Hexagon ultimatum. KD's gonna be the target, and with that, he's still surviving for so long. Was able to flash away. Genza is gonna be chasing him down. They have to slow onto the side, but G2B still is surviving for so long. KD is gonna die on the other side, though, but Taku is not gonna get anything out of that.
Yeah, it's that team fight was super long, right? Like they overstayed their welcome here over on the red quadrant of the jungle of Cerberus Esports. Let's look at that replay once again. This is what we were saying, right? A Project L moment, starting with draw Going all in. That's 2 ultimates, 1 flash burnt just to get one. And I thought for a second that G2 Blacklist had this in the bag already, but Cerberus Esports is still here to challenge. Or meanwhile,
yeah, still gonna go for the kick. One great kick. Aaron is gonna be next. He's trying to run away. He's not gonna go anywhere except to the hands of Genza.
4.5k in the lead is Cerberus Esports. And again, G2 Blacklist, although they're making plays, it's clear that they're on the back foot. Y1 still trying to invade the jungle of G2 Blacklist. This is the way to do it against a Yone pickup, and so far, so good for CES.
Very different from the last games. We have seen Cerberus Esports now taking the lead because of their Lee Sin pick. This 5k gold lead is pretty much what they need when they're fighting against a composition that has 2 carries on their side. So G2B or rather Cerberus Esports is on the right track.
They are accelerated, in fact, right? Like, you're seeing gold lead all across the board.
2 items.
Even the Aatrox is 2k ahead of Carl, which is kind of surprising. Just being allowed to get those 4 assists was definitely a very good thing to have. This Yasuo pick up by G2 Blacklist not really panning out so far, and this is the risk that is involved with having the Yasuo get picked at their first rotation, right?
Yeah, now KD is going to be trying to get this kill. 4 members right there down.
Again.
Y1 goes in for the kick, but it's not enough to save his teammate. A bit too late to the party. Genza.
Here comes
Now
Taku.
looking at Carl. He might be afraid here. He needs to splash away. And now he has enough space onto the other side. Though they got the kill coming in from Taku. They're going to go for more. KD is going to be their next target. Genza, a bit too confident right here. Not going to be able to get the chase down on their side. But they still got the kill. That was too close.
And it ended up as a 2-for-1. Another net positive moment for Cerberus Esports. Yeah, sure, G2 Blacklist was able to get ahead of Akeno, but that is just the support. That is just the tank. And G2 Blacklist is now feeling the pressure from Cerberus Esports to push.
Yeah, Taku's going to be chased down.
That's a pause.
Oh, that's a pause. Not at the right timing, though. But now, Cerberus Esports, we have seen them. This is going to be a 6k gold lead for the squad while this is happening. So I hope we don't see a pause here in this game.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, no, we actually did.
That's when you know that all those flashback moments happen, because I think the Taku is pretty much dead at that point. One Rootless Predator will be able to get his head, but yeah, very, very bad toss, I would say.
That was in the middle of a kill. Yeah, that was in the middle of a kill, and Taku could definitely be killed there in the process while they're getting the chase down. So with what we've seen so far from the game, I think Genza being so ahead of the game is not a good sign for G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, it's always a win condition for Cerberus Esports in having Genza getting the advantages that he needs. Even if it's a stalemate between Genza and Demon Kite, I really think that Genza will have the opportunity to actually win that 1v1. But being gifted this lead, it's so similar to what happened in game number 1, right? Only this time, every single member of Cerberus Esports is actually in the lead, and they're feeling it. They know that they are in the lead, and it's all about making sure that they get to take care of whatever lead they have. There are some couple of attempts by G2 Blacklist to go for their pick composition, allowing themselves to get the picks against Akeno, against Y1, but the retaliation from Cerberus Esports is so clean to a point that, you know, it never goes unpunished.
Yep. And this is one of the evolutions that I really loved about Cerberus Esports. The big change and the big adjustment that they had from the past when they lost Meliodas from the last season, and then coming back to the game in season 2 really stronger and was able to breach the top 4. And with this, they're definitely saying that they really deserve getting the top 4 spot and making it hard for G2B.
They have found their groove after being able to practice with the same set of 5 players. Y1 had a very big shoes to fill with Meliodas leaving, but turns out it was a positive because now they have the flexibility of Y1 being able to play for his teammates. This Lee Sin pickup, shutting down KD in the process, is definitely a gold pot for Cerberus Esports in game number 3.
Yeah, and even having a carry jungler back then, Cerberus Esports had a pretty great spot back then when they had Meliodas in the squad, but Y1 is a very welcome sight
for Cerberus right now. The adjustment that they needed. One season is all they needed in order for them to get in this place. Because remember, G2B, when they were former Enigma Galaxy on the SEA Games in Season 1, they just destroyed Cerberus Esports back then.
Yeah. Yeah, but that was the transition period though by
Yeah.
Cerberus Esports, right? Like that was the time in where we know for a fact that they were having some internal struggles just cause their jungler was recently replaced. Meliodas is a very big part of Cerberus Esports. That was mainly the reason why Cerberus Esports was a team back then. When
Yeah.
you hear Cerberus Esports, it's because
Yeah.
of Meliodas, right? Like,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
now they're starting to find their groove and getting that synergy in, especially with Akeno coming in. That veteran leadership was pretty much needed by Cerberus Esports.
Yeah, and we're seeing a lot more chances for Genza to shine.
Ooh, Aku survived.
It was also because KD was the one who had the problem too. That's why they weren't able to follow through in that kill. But again,
Yeah.
really good for Cerberus Esports that they were able to survive that.
Wow, a 7k goal lead at 10 minutes. If you are G2 Blacklist, what will be your win condition? A 0-10 power spike for the Yasuo is a myth, but we are kind of near that. 0-3.
Oh, man.
But,
If it doesn't get any more kills in the next 5 minutes, I think we're
Yeah.
gonna head there.
yeah, but again, it's about Cerberus Esports just finding the team fights that they wanted, being spearheaded by Y1, continuously harassing G2 Blacks. And look at Aaron. Oh
Yeah,
no,
being chased down.
0-4.
That's close, really close to what they wanted to go for. But again, everybody, 10 minutes on the clock, 7k gold lead. And we're looking for what G2B is gonna do because Cerberus Esports has a big advantage this game.
And they're going for a trade, right? On the top side, sending multiple members to try to respond to this Mountain Dragon takedown. And G2 Blacklist, yes, will be able to finally break down the tower on the top side. But you're seeing the state of the wave here in the mid lane. I feel that it will still be a 1-for-1 tower count, right? Cerberus Esports has the... Okay. All right, good
Okay.
defense by G2 Blacklist, but yeah, it's a massive lead overall still for CES.
Yeah, it's a good start for G2B to be able to take down tower on top side. That's gonna be the first tower that they have taken down. But Cerberus Esports with this dragon, they were able to get themselves a bit of an advantage. We're not gonna see a soul for Cerberus Esports. But again, an objective is still an objective for the side. So G2B is just looking for any gold that they can take against Cerberus.
And Akeno is still being targeted down over and over again by G2 Blacklist. That's already 5 deaths on Akeno, which we kind of documented, right? Like there's something about Akeno that he gets caught out of position most of the time. By the way, Cerberus Esports has an open door here in the mid lane and they're taking down a tower. It's a 1-for-1. But yeah, like if Cerberus Esports will be able to clean up Akeno's overextensions, I really don't see G2 Blacklist coming back into this game.
Yeah, and having a Runans already onto a Genza is not really a good sign here for the squad. 4 melee champions on the side of G2B. Cerberus Esports is just gonna have a heyday if they won't be able to find that backline. I mean, they have a lot of options though. The body slam, or rather the cast to get it with the last breath, they could do that. So Cerberus Esports still needs to be careful once a fight breaks out.
Yeah, being able to start a fight is something that G2 Blacklist will have plenty of opportunity to do, right? Like they do have the Fate Seal, they do have the Explosive Cast to isolate a member. But with how Cerberus Esports is playing this, they don't mind if they, get engaged on. Oh no.
Goes in for KD. They still have a knockup to their side, but that's gonna be it.
Wow.
That's gonna be the Sonic Wave to the Resonating Strike, and this is gonna be a call for Baron.
Oh, surely, right? Like, there is no jungler available for a 50-50, no contest at all coming in from
man.
G2 Blacklist, and Cerberus Esports will be taking this Baron with a smile.
Baron's gonna be for free. G2B still looking for a fight here before they take it for free. Meteor Engine is gonna be used. They're gonna go for Aaron. Aaron wants to go for the last breath. They went for it. Genza is for free on the back line, is hitting everybody on the backs. Carl was able to take one, but that's not gonna be enough. BMM is gonna take draw, and they're just gonna go back to their jobs and take the Baron.
Yep, is the Yone... No, Yone doesn't have the teleport because he went for the Stasis Engine. And Cerberus Esports, with a delay, is still going to get the Baron here. And at 14 minutes, this should be it, right? Like, this is almost close to insurmountable. The desperation play coming in, Aaron getting caught out of position, the Hextech ultimatum there, and they even tried to focus down tackle, which still wasn't enough. Although in the end, he ended up dying. Carl did take a long time to take down tackle.
Yeah.
This is the story of game number 3, right? Like, Cerberus Esports, yeah, sure, the kill count isn't that far off, 14 kills to 11 kills, but it doesn't matter because the objectives are being won by Cerberus Esports. The quick silver, you know, the mini,
Oh, wow.
the 0.25 seconds window that you are unstoppable. That's what happened there.
Oh, wow. That's so good. So good. Genza was ready for it. And again, Cerberus Esports wants to give the opening for Genza to get the items that he needs, especially when he's on this carry ADCs. It's going to be easy for the team to just find a way to just protect Genza whenever they can. And that is what's happening this game. G2B is finding it so hard to get close to Genza. And that is the reason why they're having a hard time this game.
Yeah, I really don't... Oh, Akeno.
Goes in for the knock-up. Still have the ultimates onto their side. Akeno can still go for it, but now the Windfall Edge was still able to take it.
Yeah, and so now G2 Blacklist will try to focus down their defenses on the top side, but the tower in the bot lane is already destroyed here, Dash. And there is just one tower left to destroy if you are CES, and that's the top side. It should be over, right?
Yeah, they still went in for the dragon. They don't want to force it, and there's still an extra shield a while ago. That's why they're trying to play it safe. That's why Cerberus is just gonna take it. Just take the dragon, then we try to end it.
Go lead all across the board, and now G2 Blacklist. This is definitely not the game that they wanted to have in game number 3. Although with the way the draft was presented, it kind of just played its part. Because at the end of the day, the Lee Sin will have the early game advantage against the Yone, and with Y1's confidence in this matchup, it was just easily magnified, and Cerberus Esports just played around their jungler, returning the favor of what happened in game number 2.
Yeah, it could definitely tell you what a Cerberus really wants here for the series. They don't want to give the early game for G2B, because with what is happening, when the early game was given to the hands of Cerberus Esports, look at what happened. It was chaos for G2B. Yes, they're getting kills here and there, but Cerberus Esports were so good at doing the macro. That's why they were able to slow down G2B's power spikes onto the side. Explosive cast goes into the bot side. Genza's gonna be the target. Face Shield is not gonna work out. They knock off onto Turi, and they're gonna go for more. Cerberus Esports is just slowly crunching down on the numbers right here on the side of G2B. They got some kills onto the backline. Arrow's able to survive. They got some kills for their name, and they still don't have enough. Genza's gonna fall down, but G2B was able to turn it around. Nobody died in the process. They got the tower top side, but Y1 is gonna be killed here. No, he's not. G2B still won that fight.
Wait, but there's still a few more seconds before the Elder Dragon spawns up, and that's the Baron though. Wait, what
happened? Oh,
wait, okay, so this is definitely not within our expectations, but G2 Blacklist finding the team fight that they wanted. 3 inhibitors down though is going to be a very big challenge for them, even with the Baron buff. But this is definitely something that would at least put some hopes and dreams to the G2B hopeful.
Yeah, G2B still not done. This 5k gold lead is not going to matter anymore at 7 minutes, so Cerberus Esports, yes, they have advantage. They need to make sure that Y1 is now down in the dumps. Even if he has so much items, he's not going to be able to make things work as what happened during the early game.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what time that the inhibitor towers went down, because I really don't think that this will spawn up, right? Like, so G2 Blacklist is being pressed onto a corner here. They need this Elder Dragon and potentially, win another team fight. Ending up the game then and there, but Draw is getting caught out.
Draw is going to be knocked up. Explosive gas is not available anymore. KD has a chance here to go for the knock-up though. Faith Shield is available, but Y1 was able to kick him out of the place. They got some kills though. Still a 4v5, a fight that they can win. But the tower in the mid lane, they need to be careful about it. Golden Kite is making sure that everybody's pushed back. They need to be careful about this. Once they start this fight, it's still not done.
Yeah, the good flash coming in from BMM, and again, the pressure by Cerberus Esports, just making sure that this Elder Dragon won't go down. If they are able to defend this Elder Dragon, chances are G2 Blacklist will succumb to the pressure of the minions pushing to their base.
Yeah, the Baron, they just need to wait for the minions to go for the push. G2B is trying to make it fast because they need to take this Elder Drake before the wave pushes back onto their side. Genza was able to dodge the explosive cast, and Aaron is not going to get the last breath. This Elder Drake is going to be taken by the side of G2B. 1k HP, and that Elder Drake is going to be taken. Genza is going to get the kill there, but the backline is going to be breached. Aaron is going to fall down. They still have the stasis on their side. Timing's just right, and they might be able to get some kills though. KD has the Elder Drake on their side though. They have one on their name. Y1's going to go in. Fateseal's not going to hit. KD is not going to be able to get that in his side. He was able to dash in. Golden Kite is going to get the kill against, and that's going to be enough. CES, this might not be their game. Cerberus Esports is going to fall down one by one, and 3 people are still alive on the hands of G2B.
G2 Blacklist, this is their perfect opportunity to... The stasis did hit Y1, but if there is a time for them to win this game, it's right now. G2 Blacklist will be pushing this mid lane. Golden Kite going back, needing to defend the tower, or the Nexus. Is actually a very big blow against the chances of G2 Blacklist. Man, oh man, what a crazy game. Oh.
Game's not done though. KD goes in, tries to go for the kill. Still have some Elder Drake in their side though. CES, they made 2 mistakes, and that is enough for G2B to get the gold advantage.
Right, but the biggest thing that is happening right now towards the chances of G2 Blacklist in winning this game is that the 3 inhibitor towers is... wait, I think it just respawned. I'm looking at the map right now. There are 2 DATs. There are two inhibitors that did spawn up, which means that G2 Blacklist, this is still very much winnable.
Still not done.
Still
Game
not done.
for them is going to be easier because they have the gold advantage now. They have all the items that they need.
Yep.
So Cerberus Esports are the ones who need to be careful because Y1 is basically nothing anymore.
And we are looking at KD being pretty much ahead of the curve right now. With the Guardian of... oh no, Taku.
Yeah. KD's gonna go for the chase. Remember, he still has the Elder Drake buff.
Yeah.
So if ever, that could explode in his face. Now they're taking the Baron. Nobody's gonna be here to go for the answer.
Package.
They're just gonna take it for free. Even if they go for the ultimate, it's gonna be really hard for them. They still have the Lightning Crash on their hands. Aaron, they have the Explosive Cast a bit too late. They have the Baron on their name though. Genza's gonna be chased down. They still have to kill Quicksilver Enchant, and that's enough for him to get every member of G2B to super low HP. Cerberus Esports are still fighting back, but they're not gonna be fighting for long because Taku's damage is not gonna be enough to take anybody down. KD's now full HP. Y1 needs to run away. They got the knock up, and that's gonna be enough for them to take the kill. Cerberus Esports just lost the grasp of this game in their hands.
And KD is full items already. 5 item Yone is definitely a nightmare for Cerberus Esports. They're going for the push.
Goes in for the Fate Seal, goes in for the knockup. Akeno is gonna be dead, and G2B is just gonna end this game. They have the Baron though, it's still gonna be done for them.
Oh, crazy. And G2 Blacklist, a 4-man push plus a teleport.
Goes in with the last breath. Look at the back line though. BMM tries to go for more, but it is still not enough. This is going to be the fight for the death, and Taku is going to try. Genza goes in for the Lightning Crash. They still have some minions on their side, and G2B turns the tides around in this game, and they take it back against Cerberus.
The most improbable comeback completed by G2 Blacklist. This is so deflating for Cerberus Esports. And you're seeing the coaching staff, right? Like, that's a facepalm moment. They had that game in their grasp, but all those team fighting, clutch 5v5s by G2 Blacklist, just showing what they're made of at the right moment.
What was that game? That should not have been a win for G2B. Remember, all of their inhibitors have been taken down before that fight happened, and when their last inhibitor got taken down, they were able to turn around a fight, and that fight sparked confidence for G2B. And when that happened, it all came down to how Cerberus's mental was just plummeting down after that first loss that they had.
Yeah, everything that needed to happen did happen, right? For G2 Blacklist, they were able to snatch away Y1 ahead of the Elder Dragon takedown. Them getting the Elder Dragon did allow them some time to recover, and the inhibitor did get destroyed at a time that it still spawns up, right? And G2 Blacklist was able to wait out the 5 long minutes in order for it to spawn up.
Oh man.
And in the end, that come from behind victory. KD having full items already against Y1. That is, oh man, that's a disaster for CES, but a masterclass for G2 Blacklist.
You know what, Aaron was just a last breath bot during that game. But again, everybody, that worked because they worked together, especially that first explosive cast that really sparked the tides in favor of G2B. That explosive cast, and when they caught Genza in the process on that last breath, that was enough for them to go in, try to take the win, and that really worked out. This should have been, we were closing the game, we were closing it, that Cerberus is gonna win this, it is their game, but G2B did the impossible this game.
Oh man, like that's the although one thing is for certain, right? Like we've seen a lot of crazy comebacks in a Wild Rift game, in a competitive match that features the 5 members that or the you know, most of the members that G2 Blacklist has right now. But them getting that most improbable comeback, winning 3 team fights in a row, and Golden Kite providing that insurance, you know, being able to dish out damage on towards a primary target was key. We have to remember that it was him that got the head of Y1 ahead of the Elder Dragon buff, and that's why there's no 50-50. And Golden Kite has the golden hands right now, and that's G2 Blacklist with the advantage.
So much damage from that missile barrage, and had so much damage that game. Again, even if Genza was so fed, it was still not enough for Cerberus to win. We're gonna take a short break, everybody, and we're gonna go for a short break. See you guys in just a bit.
Welcome to the top 5 highlights of the final week of Wild Rift League Asia group stages. While the situation in the APAC region seemed to be set, Cerberus Esports surprisingly defeated Trace Esports to finish in the top 2. In China, the top 8 teams that advanced only became certain when the final match ended. A group stage that brought a lot of new things compared to the previous Wild Rift League Asia season. Now let's dive to the top 5 highlights of week number 8. Starting with number 5. Trace Esports is still flying very high on the wings of Weiba, especially because of 7's performance. Facing Thunder Talk in the second game at 18 minutes into the game, Weiba transformed into a dragon and flew into the Baron pit to steal victory for Trace Esports.
Shield of the Rand is perfect, but Trace Esports steals the Baron. This will be Weiba's time to shine, and they took it away from Thunder Talk to end the game. Now the Hextech ultimatum denied by their post. With Heroes entrance as well, zoning away, Tracy Esports are gonna flip into the backside. Korn has to use up the stasis, but going into the middle of it all, it's Z who gets deleted. The Baron Nashor with Tracy.
Number 4. Now this highlight, it's a combined effort of CF17 and Soldier. They had a stun collaboration to steal the Elder Dragon against Keepes Gaming members at the 19th minute into the game of their second match.
Soldier, he might be able to go for the steal. Here's CF17, he's already inside. They got the kill on SEY, they got the steal in the end. J-Team is going to be running away with this. They got one on ZY, they have the Elder Drake on their side. They might be able to get the kill on KG. Xiaoma running away. 2 members are still alive on the side. KVG, they got the 2-shot barrage. And that was it. Elder Drake has been taken.
Number 3. Yitze also made it to the top of the highlights of week number 8 with a great 1 versus 2 tower defense. At the beginning of the game, he became a target from once, but through his quick thinking, Yitze turned the hunter into a prey by taking both of the kills.
Oh yeah, because once, as soon as he saw he was already in place, Yitze,
he
did. Oh god, he delayed that dive for so long, and then the turret will keep him alive just with a...
Number 2. The final 3-man turret freeze seemed easy, but SZY was too strong with his Renekton. With the power of the Crocodile and Ignite, SZY took 1 kill for himself and helped the team to secure 2 more kills.
Not really able to CC anything, but on the other side, the same thing is happening, but on the other side, SZY, he actually manages to get the kill, and another kill by Soldier onto Chaz, and now that he's trapped behind enemy lines. 3 kills, 4 kills across the board for JT.
And number 1. The top 1 position for the final week of the group stages belongs to the ADC of Thundertalk, Soil. Right at the first minute of the second game when they met Nova Esports, Soil had a calm handling to turn a 3 versus 2 gank into a Nova Esports disaster to take a triple kill.
Good dredge line, layer of CC, and they know that Chenchi got no flash, but still.
Wait! Ooh!
with the damage. They still got to sustain, but here comes more. Looking for a target once again. Uses the flash, a flash to flash, and a coast to coast of a kill.
Barrier.
Hitting.
Oh, fruits!
And he's going.
There you go!
And a double kill. And everyone.
Which one did you love the most? Let us know in the comment section and keep supporting teams giving their all here in this tournament. My name's Giyang. See you again on the next video.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
Welcome to the top 5 highlights of the final week of Wild Rift League Asia group stages. While the situation in the APAC region seemed to be set, Cerberus Esports surprisingly defeated Trace Esports to finish in the top 2. In China, the top 8 teams that advanced only became certain when the final match ended. A group stage that brought a lot of new things compared to the previous Wild Rift League Asia season. Now let's dive to the top 5 highlights of week number 8. Starting with number 5. Trace Esports is still flying very high on the wings of Weiba, especially because of his amazing performance. Facing Thunder Talk in the second game at 18 minutes into the game, Weiba transformed into a dragon and flew into the Baron Pit to steal victory for Trace Esports.
Shield of the Rand is perfect, but Trace Esports steals the Baron. This will be Weiba's time to shine, and they took it away from Thunder Talk to end the game. And now the Hextech ultimatum denied by their post. With Heroes entrance as well, zoning away, Tracy Esports are gonna flip into the backside. Korn has to use up the stasis, but going into the middle of it all, it's Z who gets deleted. The Baron Nashor with Tracy.
Number 4. Now this highlight, it's a combined effort of CF17 and Soldier. They had a stun collaboration to steal the Elder Dragon against Keepest Gaming members at the 19th minute into the game of their second match.
Soldier, he might be able to go for the steal. Here's the F17, he's already inside. They got the kill on SEY, they got the steal in the end. J-Team is going to be running away with this. They've got one on ZY, they have the Elder Drake on their side. They might be able to get the kill on KG. Xiaoma running away. 2 members are still alive on the side. KVG, they got the 2 shots per watch. And that was it, Elder Drake has been taken.
Number 3. Yitze also made it to the top of the highlights of week number 8 with a great 1 versus 2 tower defense. At the beginning of the game, he became a target from once, but through his quick thinking, Yitze turned the hunter into a prey by taking both of the kills.
Oh yeah, because once, as soon as he saw he was already in place, Yitze,
he
did. Oh god, he delayed that dive for so long, and then the turret will keep him alive, just winning.
Number 2. The final 3-man turret freeze seemed easy, but SZY was too strong with his Renton. With the power of the Crocodile and Ignite, SZY took 1 kill for himself and helped the team to secure 2 more kills.
Not really able to CC anything, but on the other side, the same thing is happening, but on the other side, SZY, he actually manages to get the kill, and another kill by Soldier onto Chaz, and now that he's trapped behind enemy lines. 3 kills, 4 kills across the board for JT.
And number 1. The top 1 position for the final week of the group stages belongs to the ADC of Thundertalk, Soil. Right at the first minute of the second game when they met Nova Esports, Soil had a calm handling to turn a 3 versus 2 gank into a Nova Esports disaster to take a triple kill.
Good dredge line, layer of CC, and they know that Chenchi got no flash, but still.
Wait! Ooh!
With the damage, they still got a sustain, but here comes Phil looking for a target once again, uses the flash, a flash to flash, and a coast to coast of a kill.
Barrier.
Hitting.
Oh! Fruits!
And he's going.
There you go!
And a double kill, and everyone.
Which one did you love the most? Let us know in the comment section and keep supporting teams giving their all here in this tournament. My name's Giyang, see you again on the next video.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom.
We're back in game 4. Everybody is a 2-1. G2B just did a miracle during the last game. Was able to come back in a supposedly done game already.
Yeah.
That's why they were able to turn it around. So we are on game 4.
I was rewatching it over the course of our very long break, and I still could not believe my eyes, Dash. That was the most improbable comeback that you could ask for. 3 inhibitors down. And again, with the amount of gold advantage that was on the side of Cerberus Esports, the only bright spot for G2 Blackness at that point was their scaling. Was definitely something that they can bank on, right? Like, they do have the late game Yone, Yasuo, Corki potential. But even with also scaling, it had to come back, or it had to it had to be allowed to happen, right? And the only way for it to be allowed to happen is for them to win back-to-back-to-back team fights, which is what happened there. And if you guys missed it, that's a classic. Push that rewind pot and rewatch game number 3 because that was a very good comeback from G2 Blasters.
Game number 3 was such a supposedly already won by Cerberus Esports. They got the game from early to the late game, and once they made that one mistake, G2 Blacklist was just able to come back, and that's something that we didn't really expect to happen because the fight that was happening before they were able to come back, that sparked the G2B comeback. I thought that Cerberus Esports was winning, but G2B with their low HP was able to come back time and time again, goes back to the base, gets back with HP. That's what they were doing during that last time.
It needed perfect team fighting from G2 Blacklist, right? A well-coordinated communication by G2 Blacklist, and that's what happened there, right? Like, you could not ask for anything more from G2 Blacklist with all those team fights that happened, and them targeting down Genza and Y1 was actually key, right? Like, with them going down, the chances of G2 Blacklist coming back in that game really just expanded, and now we are entering game number 4 with a 2-1 advantage for G2 Blacklist. Same game plan. Try to target down Y1's champion pool. You take away the Vi, you take away the Hecarim, and that leaves a potential Lee Sin pickup for CES.
Yeah, Evelyn could still be taken down here for Cerberus, so that is gonna be Akali is gonna be open here if ever they won't be able to take that out on the side of G2B. Yeah, there's gonna be an Akali open this game.
And Evelyn, possibly, right? Like Evelyn or Akali, those are the two champions that G2 Blacklist will be looking to get hold of with their first pick selection in game number 4. We'll see though. Cerberus Esports is banning away the Evelyn, not going to allow Katie to have the same performance in game number 2, and that will be the Akali picked up for Aaron.
Yeah, Akali, Aaron's gonna be picking that up for themselves. There's a big chance that they're gonna be picking. Whoa, they're gonna go back to the Aatrox on their side. Honestly, the Lee Sin was not bad during that last game. It was just because they took a lot of time before they finished the game. That's why that Lee Sin just descaled so much.
Yeah, and at that point, right, like the Lee Sin will only be good for the Dragon's Range combo, and that's about it, right? Now, G2 Blacklist is taking away the Lee Sin for themselves, and KD is also a very good Lee Sin player. We all know this, so it's about returning the favor for G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, and now they're going to be taking that. Nautilus is going to be available here, and Draw is going to be taking that for themselves. There's still a Camille that they could take for Cerberus if ever Y1 is going to go and take that Aatrox in the jungle. So Camille could still be a possibility for the squad here, or even a Jax if they want to play it safe.
Yeah, or a Kha'Zix. I still think that Y1 is also very capable of playing the Kha'Zix if needed. A matchup against the Lee Sin, of course, should favor the Lee Sin in the early stages of the game, but we've seen this time and time again, right? Like, there are times in where the Kha'Zix was able to outplay and outmaneuver the Lee Sin, but it does look like that this will be the Aatrox in the jungle, allowing Taku to play one of his favorite champions in the Fiora.
Yeah, Fiora is going to be available. Still have some champions in the jungle that they could go and ban. The Kha'Zix is one of them that G2B needs to ban if ever they want to choke out Y1 and let him pick a very awkward champion. And a Shen could also be banned, so he doesn't really have any more options after that.
Yeah, those are the, I would say, premier options whenever you want to play for the team, and that is the goal for Y1. Now, G2 Blacklist is trying to target away the supports because they already have secured one for themselves in having that Nautilus, so I expect the Gragas to be banned away, leaving Akeno with, what, a potential Alistar? Or a Thresh?
Yeah, Alistar is going to be the only champion that he can pick up here for himself. Vladimir is going to be banned. So they're giving the option here for Y1 to take the Kha'Zix. Yeah, take the Kha'Zix. It's not going to be a problem for us. So what are they going to answer with? A Kassadin could be an answer, but the Karma...
It's an enchanter support.
Yeah, Ezreal and Karma. Okay.
Yeah, it's the win lane win game win condition for them. But they have to be careful, right? Like if the Sivir gets locked in here for G2 Blacklist, there will be enough kill potential with that lockdown and surprising amount of burst that is available to the Sivir. Sivir or Zaya, those are the two options I'm looking at.
Yeah, I'm really surprised about this Karma pick.
Oh, Zeri.
Because they don't really have a lot of ways to make use of the damage that they have in composition. So they need somebody to be the CC man for Cerberus, because they don't really have any solid ones for this DPS to work from the side of Cerberus. But again, Zeri and Camille, they just want an easy lockdown and the single target kills for G2B.
Yeah, and also massive team fight potential still, right? Like you get one head, it tends to snowball out of control, right? For G2 Blacklist. Not to mention that they do have a very big pickup in the Akali. Garen is going to get locked in here by Cerberus Esports, because at one point you still need a tank, right? And they don't have a frontliner. Had it been that this Garen is not going to get picked up for Cerberus Esports, but this is a classic pickup, right? Garen versus Akali, though, I feel that the Akali would have a very good time in farming all those items needed to impact the mid-game team fights.
I'm really surprised about this pick from Cerberus Esports, though. I mean,
Me too.
Ezreal and Karma, that could work in... I mean, supposedly that could work in the bot lane. But overall, the composition of Cerberus Esports doesn't really scream a lot, or at least doesn't really tell you on what they want to do as a team. It's a bit scattered. That's why that could be a problem if you're facing against G2B.
Right, exactly, right? Like we have to know that the main reasons why enchanter supports are not in the meta is because they can easily get targeted down by all the potential burst combos coming in from the Lee Sin, coming in from the Nautilus. But they had to find a way to answer the Akali, right? Like and one of the better ways to spot out the Akali is by using the tether. If you have the tether on, the invisibility of the Twilight Shroud won't be there, right? That's the only thing I can think of. Plus the fact that they needed an enchanter to unlock this Aatrox further. So now, the onus or the responsibility for the Aatrox to really pick up the pace of this game and be that accelerated is just at an all-time high, because if G2 Blacklist ever denies this Aatrox at the early stages of this game, that's over. It's over, right? That's a game plan for G2 Blacklist. You deny the Aatrox, you slow down the Aatrox, and you will end up winning the game.
Yeah, the only way that they could make use of this advantage that they have here for the lane is the Ezreal Karma is so good at destroying really late game champions. For example, the Zeri is gonna have a hard time in this lane if ever they do pick up on the damage on the side of CES. So that's gonna be one of the good things for Cerberus Esports. But once we head into the middle game, or at least to the team fights, that is when the problem is gonna start here for Cerberus.
And then we have this big beefy Garen, which is by the way got also soft countered by the Zeri. Another pause imminent here, and this will be, I think, G2 Blacklist again having issues similar to what happened in game number 3. There was a pause that was picked up. Then again, right, like let's go back and let's try to analyze the draft here by Cerberus Esports. I agree with you. It's more they're trying to cover each other's weaknesses, right? Like that's how they draft it. Because they went for the Karma, they needed a tank. The best tank possible or allowable for them in that game was the Garen. And although a Garen can surprisingly do good against all those squishy members as well, there is a reason why it's not out of the meta, and the main reason is because of all those hard-hitting marksmen, right? Like Zeri against the Garen will not survive the split push action, and we often see that happen time and time again. The mid laner goes over to the side lane for the mid lane rotations or for the mid game rotations, and that's where the Garen gets abused over and over again.
Yeah, and this is where we can see how the Garen really makes sense for the squad here, at least at the very least for them, because what they can do is just put the Garen against a Akali every time. The Akali is not gonna have an easy time going for wave clear, because technically Garen has a lot more compared to the Akali. That's the only way that they can make this work. I mean, the Demolition Justice is an option that is still gonna be there, but as you said, because they had to cover some bases because of their first 3 picks.
Right.
That's the only reason why they
Garen
had to go.
up, right?
Yeah, that's the only reason why. But that's also a problem in itself. But again, we just need to see how Cerberus Esports is just gonna make this work.
Because the thing here is about the Garen. One would say that, you know, a perfect counter pick to the Akali potentially is a Kassadin, right? Like, or you know, have an assassin versus assassin matchup in the mid lane. Because this Garen, it's going to be effective at least for the first few minutes of the game, right? Like, we saw its potential. He was boxing out the Akali for for a good amount of time. But as soon as the Akali gets his hands on the max level 5-point strike, right?
Yeah.
That should allow her to be able to dish out a good amount of damage against the Garen. And you know, in the potential duel between the Garen and the Akali, you need sustain, right? And you won't have enough sustain against the damage burst potential of the Akali. Not to mention that there is a very aggressive jungler on the side of G2 Blacklist in the Lee Sin, right? Like a 2v1 or 2v2 that involves the Garen will most likely favor the other side.
Yeah. And also, there's a reason why Akali is always banned. Now, Akali, especially in the CN conference, Akali is always banned just because of the amount of threat that she could deal for, or at least the amount of threat that she has for the backline and the amount of chaos that she could deal in a big team fight. And that's why it's so hard to let her be open, because there's not a lot of answers to an Akali. Garen is good for the early game. Kassadin is also good, but that they don't really solve the problem. They just are there to just mitigate it a bit.
Yeah, and how many times have we seen an Akali win a team fight just with one perfectly placed Twilight Shroud?
Yeah.
Right? Because in a pro setup, in 5v5 setup, it's a mortal sin to be close to the Twilight Shroud. The Twilight Shroud just means that the Akali is there, able to free hit. And that's what happens in the normal scenario, and that's mainly the reason why I think that Akali is a very good pick overall. If not for the Twilight Shroud, Akali won't really be even viable, right? And now we are going back into the game, just trying to crunch some numbers here and there. I really laud Cerberus Esports in going for the karma, just because that tether will at least devalue the Twilight Shroud. I just don't think it's enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's only going to be a one chance for them to lock it down. And also because they don't have a Camille on their side to use the Hexic Ultimatum to make it easier for them to just lock down that Akali. We also could go to another problem though. Where is the CC gonna come from here? From Cerberus Esports? Yes, they have a lot of damage. Yes, they have the Feather, but they don't have a follow-up CC to lock down that Akali, to take down that Akali who has like a million dashes.
Yeah, that's a very, very good point, right? Like at the end of the day, the most important or the best CC is the gray screen, and that's their goal, right? Which is basically to silence down the Akali, have enough burst to try to kill him down. And KD, oh man, the cameraman missed that first blood. I hope we get a replay soon and fast, because that was a very quick first blood on the top side. Let's look at that replay once again. G2 Blacklist just planning this one perfect. What? This is just... He's smurfing on the guy, dude.
Yeah. They got a kill in the bot lane too, though, but at least it's a 1-for-1 G2B. We need a replay again and what happened there. That was happening while the replay is happening.
Yeah, again, the mechanics being shown by KD, just baiting out all potential counters by Taku, and having enough accuracy to hit that combo without even needing an ultimate to get that assassination was very good. If you're a fan of G2 Blacklist, now you're seeing that G2 Blacklist, you're saying that, you know, BMM would have enough in him to at least challenge Aaron the first few minutes, but this is what is about to happen, right? Aaron just needs to survive at least for the first few minutes of the game And by the time that he reaches level 7, he should have enough survivability and damage to threaten BMM.
Yeah, and now KD. Okay. I thought they're gonna get another kill to their side because it's easy. Really easy for KD to just take down anybody in this early game. Even that Aatrox is not gonna be a problem for KD.
Yeah. There was no replay of what happened at the bottom lane, but it was only made possible with Y1 using his World Ender and getting that kill over to... I don't think it was Genza. Yeah, no, it wasn't Genza that was able to get the kill. But Golden Kite was the one that went down. KD will be spotted on a ward here.
Ooh.
Right, very good vision.
Yeah, goes in for the charge. Still not gonna go in. Akeno might get killed here. That's a great dredge line to end it. And KD takes a kill.
And this is why you don't pick the squishy champions against, in a competitive scenario. It's just so easy to lock them down. Golden Kite. Oh man, that's still a little bit scary. But they're not yet done.
Yeah, they go in for Y1. Still don't have enough damage. The perfect execution was enough. And BMM is gonna be the next target. Aaron's not gonna get the kill, but at least they got one.
This is what we were saying, right? Like in a 2v2 scenario, Garen won't be able to do a thing.
Wait.
And now PMM is trying to challenge Aaron, but that will be a free tower in the bottom lane.
They got the kill on Ezreal too, because Genza didn't back away. We need to have a replay on what happened in the bot lane again, because a fight was happening while they got the kill again. G2B are just showing them how to take the early game, and they got a bot lane tower at 4 minutes.
Yeah, I think that's the summary of game number 4, right? Like, we need a replay, because that's been what's happening for G2 Blacklist. Cross-map plays one after another, and in 5 minutes, this Lee Sin getting unlocked, or getting all advantages needed to unlock G2 Blacklist lineup even further. Aaron going to get caught.
Yeah, they already used the feather on their side though, so there's gonna be a chance for G2B to go win Taku. Really great position, but what is he gonna do on that side of the map? He doesn't have any CC. Cerberus Esports can't hold down G2B, and G2B can start the fight anytime. They're gonna go Taku, gonna go in. They still aren't gonna be taking that Drake onto their side though. Was able to run away. Still have a lot of damage, so Jaw's gonna fall in the process, but G2B is gonna run away.
Yeah, it's 1-4-1, counting the objective. And Cerberus Esports expended almost all ultimates needed. G2 Blacklist was able to still get that objective, but G2 Blacklist now feeling the pressure, and Cerberus Esports will start the Rift Herald.
Yeah, Cerberus is just gonna take this Rift Herald. They don't have a lot of cooldowns on the side G2B to start this. Even the perfect execution is down.
Is so low.
KD is gonna try it though. Y1 is gonna be their target. KD's just gonna take this for free. Golden Kite was able to get the kill onto the back line, and now this is gonna be Cerberus in chaos after that game 3.
That's a disaster for Cerberus Esports. Really hard to come back from this, and G2 Blacklist still goes in with Draw flashing in, missing his mark against Enza, but still mission accomplished for G2 Blacklist. That's the mid lane tower destroyed.
Yeah, and now BMM has been ignited. They're gonna go in. Draw is just gonna use his death charge. BMM is not gonna move an inch, and he's gonna be dead and sacrificed to G2B.
This Garen pickup is not it. It's not it.
Man. It's a reason why he's not meta anymore.
Nope, not anymore. And we're seeing, again, the decisiveness of G2 Blacklist. They knew that Y1 did not recall. They went for the fast play. They wanted to secure the Rift Herald. But with Y1 being that low, that was just an easy execute from G2 Blacklist members. Another tower going down, and that's perfect tower plating for G2 Blacklist.
And as we said a while ago, even during the drafting, everything was questionable for Cerberus Esports. This composition just wants to cover the bases that they don't have covered, and that is the reason why they are losing in the process though. They don't have any identity in this composition, and that's why it's so hard to find the goal. It's so hard to find the win condition in this composition.
They had to play reactive, but really, I mean, do you have the luxury of being able to counterpunch similar to what happened in game number 1? You don't have the Sever. Yeah, sure, you have the Ezreal, but it's not getting unlocked similar to what happened in game number 1, and where we saw a comeback from Cerberus Esports. What are we looking at, right? Like a 5.6k gold hole that Cerberus Esports is facing against an Akali that can just threaten the backline with just one skill. And again, with BMM skill, I still have to call out the You know, it's a portion of two things, right? Like, we have to commend Coach TG in checkmating Cerberus Esports in this draft. And another engage here.
Yeah, Y1's gonna be the target though. Was able to get pushed back, and that's gonna be a kill for Carl. Katie was able to run away, and now they're gonna go in for more. They're gonna go for Akeno. Akeno's gonna be next. The knockup is gonna be enough, but right now onto the back line though. Aaron was able to get the perfect execution. Goes away, and that's gonna be another execute to their side. G2B takes 2 in the board.
G2 Blacklist is just playing with food right now. Cerberus Esports does not have the mobility, does not have enough outplay in them, and KD and company still going strong.
Man, Genza is gonna be dead, and now Cerberus is just gonna try their best to defend this tower, but that is gonna be a tower down for G2B.
Yeah, very far from what we saw from Cerberus Esports in game number 3. In game number 4, it's all G2 Blacklist. 9 minutes in, 10-2 in kill counts, and almost 8k goal lead. This is far from what we saw from game number 3, but then again, yeah, you're looking at KD just maximizing. How many times have we seen KD survive that store? Right? Like, this is a montage moment for KD on the Lee Sin.
Yeah, and even for Aaron, look at what Aaron did here.
Exactly.
Oh man, now there's just gonna be we got another kill while the replay was happening. And G2B is just dominating the early. I like that G2B now recognizes that if Cerberus Esports are just gonna give the early game like what happened during game 1 and game 2, we could just make use of that. We could make use of that and just win this whole series.
Yeah, and plus they have enough scaling, right? Like Golden Guide will definitely be a very big insurance to have. But if you give them the early game, they should have enough advantages overall. Now Aaron trying to play with fire against Taku. And we are at the 10-minute mark here, Dash, but I don't know. I just don't see a comeback coming in from Cerberus Esports. Earlier in G2 Blacklist comeback win in game number 3, there were a lot of scaling champions that was available to G2 Blacklist, right? Like Yone Yasuo has a lot of damage come late game. But PMM Garen, nah, it's not gonna happen, dude.
Yeah, and even having an Ezreal, yes, he's gonna be strong in the mid game, but he's a bit too decelerated right now, and that's why not having the Trinity Force at 10 minutes is gonna be bad here for Cerberus.
Yeah, and plus the game plan of G2 Blacklist is to attack and slow down Y1. Mission accomplished for them. And it was pretty much the composition for CES. They need 8 rocks to be accelerated, and they cannot find the advantage for him because he was easily controlled by the early game aggression of this Lee Sin of KD. You're looking at the record of KD, he's 6-0-3, dude.
Yeah, and the only reason why, the biggest reason why they can't even secure any kills is, as we said, where's the CC gonna come from? Right now, Genza is gonna be target, and who's gonna stop him? Yes, there is a feather, but no problem. That's gonna be an elevator for the side of G2B, and they're just gonna be ending them one by one. Look at the backline, Akeno's gonna be dead. Aaron is just gonna be taking this backline in his hands, and BMM is gonna be next together with Taku. Chicken Flip was able to hit 5-point strike, and that's Carl taking the kill, and BMM is just gonna be next because Golden Kite is gonna take it, and that's another ace for G2B.
G2 Blacklist pre-12 minutes will open up the base on the top side. Make sure that G2 Blacklist will have a 3-1 advantage heading into the game number 5. And man, this is so early. Baron has yet to spawn, but G2 Blacklist needs to back away.
Yep. It's like, oh man, the drafting, that is when the disaster came to the hands of Cerberus Esports. Yeah, that was a checkmate for G2B, and now they didn't really had any answer for their squad. Picking up the Aatrox to the Ezreal was a really good 2 picks, but the picks after that, oh my, it was a disaster for them.
The karma often is needed by like one game plan, which is to funnel the 8 rocks, but against the Lee Sin, can you really funnel an 8 rocks? I don't think so, right? Like, and KD needs to be careful.
Yeah, and it's at least in the hands of KD too. UI1 is going to be left alone here in the Baron. Now they're going to be chasing him down, knocked up onto 2, and that is going to be Y1 dead here, left to the gods, and he's going to be sacrificed. They got 1 kill though, which is good, but that's not going to be enough to win against this squad. G2B is just going to take 4 kills on the board.
And that 1 kill was only made possible because of the Demotion Justice. Now G2 Blacklist is poised to take down another objective on the top side. This is a naked Nexus. No Nexus shields to help him up.
Oh man, no Nexus shields. Taku is going to be left alone. Still has to riposte to save himself. But it's not going to be enough for G2B. G2B is just going to end it, and that is just a fast game for G2 Blacklist.
A very big stomp by G2 Blacklist pre 13 minutes. Or was it? All I know is that they were knocking on towards the inhibitor tower on the top side pre 12 minutes already. So, yeah, what a statement by G2 Blacklist. You cannot draft that way against them because they will definitely expose all the weakness that was there.
Yeah,
it was looking at us, right? Like Dash, we were trying to make sense of the composition that Cerberus Esports had.
Yeah.
And there were so many glaring weaknesses that we were able to pinpoint that was maximized here by G2 Blacklist. Genius drafting and very good execution overall.
And honestly, those first picks that we have seen from Cerberus Esports were really not that bad technically if they weren't able to maximize what they have on their hands. They have an Aatrox and Fiora. They already have the damage covered, but they didn't have enough CC to make use of the damage that they're going to be dealing with this composition. And that's why it's a bit glaring. The Garen, the Karma. Oh man, we tried to find all the positives in this draft, but no, it doesn't work.
It's not. Like that Garen, had it been it was a Gwen, maybe, just maybe, right? Like at least there will be a damage potential. And this is why sometimes it's not really sometimes, but most of the times it's so fun to watch CN teams because you don't see CN teams play the Garen in the mid lane anymore because they have found that Gwen is a very formidable pick in the mid lane against all those melee champions, right? Like at least that is one way to fight fire. But this is just a complete stomp, and as we did say, right, like this is the shortest game that we have had so far, 13 minutes and 11, and a 3-1 advantage for G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, I'm really surprised that we're seeing this type of game in the playoffs because I'm really surprised at the amount of times that they got stumped because G2B is just taking the early game in their favor, and this is honestly something that they would really need to recognize here in the side of Cerberus. Draw taking the MVP, very well deserved. At least honestly, everybody played a part in this game.
Yeah, but he was the 1-2 punch of KD, right? Like everywhere KD went to make his presence felt, Draw was there to capitalize on the squishiness of the lineup of Cerberus Esports. In fact, there was one moment in where I saw the value of Draw's Nautilus, and that was in the bot lane. Lee Sin got spotted on a ward. It did not matter. Right? Like, he flashed in, used a depth charge, and that's it for the Chandler support.
Yeah, Akeno had no way to go. But again, everybody, we're just going to take a short break. See you guys in just a bit. Don't go away.
Feel the thorns embrace. Death is in bloom. None will escape my grasp.
Heading into Game 5, it's a 3-1. G2B was able to secure an easy win during the last game. A comeback to an easy win. Is this gonna be the turnaround? At CES, I hope their mental doesn't plummet down until this last game, because it could be a problem, because this is their last chance.
Mental went boom after game number 3, I think.
Yeah.
Like, it's all about recovering from that massive beatdown in game number 4 as well, right? Like, back-to-back things for sure that is to the delight, or back-to-back wins that is to the delight of Coach TG. He was a very good part of their wins in games 2 and 4, right? In game number 2, they focused down and made sure that the Evelyn gets locked in. Game number 4, the Akali was the premier pick as well. And so at least now, Cerberus Esports is denying that first pick threat from G2 Blacklist, because if anything, right, like G2 Blacklist, if they get their hands on the blue side, there are so many options that can really threaten down the power picks of Cerberus.
Yep. Now Evelyn is going to be banned as usual. We're probably going to see the same bans all over here. And now they're going to be respecting the Akali that Aaron was able to get from the last game, so they won't forget that again. It was also because of G2B is very smart of them to just take all the champions that they can against Cerberus, and they were able to just make tons of work for themselves.
Yeah, and G2 Blacklist is going to still ban away all those champions that Y1 is so effective on, right? Like, you ban away the Vi, you ban away the Hecarim. What is there to pick up for Y1? He can play the Lee Sin, but there was a game in where he played Lee Sin to its full potential, but that still ended up as a loss. Now, Cerberus Esports is now trying to switch things up and is going to gift a marksman at least to BMM, because I feel that BMM is really underwhelming in this series so far here, Dash. Right? Like 2 games of Zyra, 1 game of Garen. Not the same BMM that we saw from their wins, during the group stages, and he needs to step it up now.
Yeah. Ornn for free. They're gonna be picking at least BMM having that Corki on their side, so that they would be safe, and BMM is not gonna have a problem in the mid lane. So that is honestly a good spot to be in for Cerberus Esports here. But now, the problem also lies, what are the supports that they have in option here? The Ornn that they always have picked for Akeno is going to be out of the picture.
Exactly. One of the priority picks by Cerberus Esports has to go back and default back to the Ornn. Easily gets denied here by G2 Blacklist. They can still go for the Galio, right? Like, there are a lot of options for Cerberus Esports, but I really think that the Ornn is one of the champions that can really start a team fight so well. And there were some flashy plays by Kenno on this Ornn pickup in games number 1 and 3. So now they will be going for the Gragas instead of the Ornn this time.
Yeah, just to take down the Ornn whenever he uses the Call of the Forge God. So it's a good start here for Cerberus Esports. They can still go for another ADC if ever they need to, unless G2B has that in their, or at least has an idea that that's going to happen, and they would be able to counteract that with a Jax or a Gwen on this third pick. So they can still use that, but no, they're going to go back to the Lee Sin of KD.
Yeah. Lee Sin for KD in game number 5 just means one thing, right? Like they don't want to leave it to the scaling Yone pickup that we saw from game number 3. They want to have a smoother tempo overall. And knowing how G2 Blacklist has dominated the early game in majority of the games that we have casted so far, this is a very good pickup by G2 Blacklist once again.
Yeah. That's gonna be a good pickup. Having the Lee Sin, no jungler on the side of CES, there's not a lot of options that they could go for now. They're not gonna go for the Aatrox again because it didn't work for the last 2 games. So Kha'Zix is a good ban here for G2B.
This is pretty much a checkmate by G2 Blacklist. They are now forcing Cerberus Esports to go for an Aatrox. Maybe ban away the Shen for G2 Blacklist. Makes sure that Y1 won't really have an option to work with. Oh, they're banning away the Aatrox, which leaves the Shen available for Cerberus Esports.
No,
question is, Shen.
Yeah.
Isn't Shen a very good pick? At least, you look at the Renekton outside, Shen is very formidable tank. I don't think Dr. Mundo will get picked up here.
Oh no.
Oh yeah, either Shen or something else.
Yeah, what's gonna happen here though, Blues? Because with the problem that they
Riven.
have in the they could go for the Riven for Carl. Could go for the Jax if they want to play it safe, but G2B doesn't want to do that. They would really want to make sure that this is gonna be something different for the squad here.
Yeah, or they're anticipating that Y1 will be playing the Riven in the jungle and trying to deny it away from him as well. That if it ever becomes a Camille versus Riven, I choose Riven almost every single time. Okay, at least this is something positive for Genza, right? Like the only win that Cerberus Esports was able to get was off of a very good Sivir pickup. Oh man, Dr. Mundo.
Interesting.
But they have the Zeri this time, right? Like G2 Blacklist is very much prepared. They can still go for another marksman here.
Yeah.
Or a double marksman composition to easily counter out this Dr. Mundo. That's it. That's GG.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. The Kai'Sa and the Zeri getting picked up compared to the Ezreal that we have from our last game. So this is gonna be a chance here for G2B to go back. At least Cerberus Esports gave them a chance to, yes, this is a draft that we did in game 1 in where we won, and G2B now knows the answer for that.
Exactly, right? Like the only reason why Dr. Mundo was very effective in game number 1 was because he is able to out-sustain all the burst coming in from G2 Blacklist. But there's really no burst to absorb this time around because that's sustained TPS coming from 2 marksmen in the game. And this is another masterful drafting coming in from Coach Tichi of G2 Blacklist, leaving the defenses and leaving Cerberus Esports out to dry on their last pick. Oh man! The stage is set here, Dash. It's all about execution.
Yep. Now, this is going to be the question here. How are they going to be able to make things work here for the squad? Cerberus Esports, they are going to make use of what they did during game 1 of this series and try to find a way to make it work, because that might be the magic that they're looking for. But now, is that going to be enough? Because in what we've seen here from the side of G2B, they drafted against that Dr. Mundo. I'm just not sure if this Riven is going to work against that Renekton, but this is still their last chance. Cerberus Esports, last chance against G2B before they get sent to the lower bracket, or they might be able to go for long.
Yeah, the goal for G2 Blacklist is for them to have a date with KT Rosaroy, which is currently waiting in the upper bracket semi-finals. Technically, is it upper bracket semi-finals or upper bracket finals? I think it's upper bracket finals.
Upper bracket finals, yeah.
Okay, right. And then we have in the lower bracket, now Esports is waiting as to who's going to lose out this game. G2 Blacklist, of course, wants Cerberus Esports to get pushed down in order for them to really have that date against now. So now, we're seeing some aggression here and there by G2 Blacklist and Cerberus Esports with the double marksman composition that we have for both sides. I feel that this is going to just be, you know, a safer laning phase overall, and not enough damage to really just push them down.
Yeah, and from what we're seeing here from Aaron, this is what you really want whenever you have the early game advantage as a Kaisa. And when you're fighting a marksman against marksman, this has been a bit one of the meta that we had when the Kaisa was meta for a bit. Then they always fight against a Corki. Look at the top side though, Carl having a bit of a problem. Ignite has been used.
Yeah, but the wait. Okay. That was just a flash, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, like Draw has to be careful. But yeah, on the top side, right, like that Riven versus Renekton matchup, the only reason why Riven had the advantage was because of the minions that was made available to him. So the only concern that you have to think about if you're the Renekton against the Riven is a potential gamp. Outside of that, you should be winning that matchup almost every time, right? Like we know that the Renekton is pretty much the original lane bully on the top side, and against the Riven, that should remain true.
Has always been the lane bully that everybody wants to pick if they want to have advantage. Y1 already on the bot side of the map though. Aaron gonna fight a 1v1 flash from Aaron, and he's gonna win the fight. It's a good thing he has the ignite back up. Golden Kite fighting against Y1. Y1 gets the kill, and they might get another one to their side, and this is gonna be the 3-4-1 that they're looking for across the map.
Yeah, it's a so it's a 2-for-1 actually, right? Well, they were at least still able to get a kill on towards the drag laner. Now Taku is in trouble.
Yeah, Taku top side though. This could make it equal for their side though. It's a good thing that Carl was the target, and now with the Dragon's Rage, they are not going to be able to get the kill, but at least they got a 1-for-1. BMM wants to go for more, but KD flashes away.
Yeah, Cerberus Esports is actually fighting whatever aggression being put out here by G2 Blacklist. Good job overall by them in being at the right place and at the right time. Let's look at this tower dive once again. Akeno went in, draw with a beautiful knock-up, but this dive by Cerberus Esports, we all know that Dr. Mundo, by the time that he levels up to 5, that just means that he can actually tank a lot of tower shots. But for some reason, again, Zoe was the first one to hit the champion, and he took the aggro, ending in a at least trade kill.
Yeah.
Still though, right, like for Cerberus Esports, that's a lot of positive signs by them in the first few minutes of this game.
Yep. Cerberus Esports getting the win in the early game just stops G2B from getting that early game advantage that they always got from the past games except for game 3. But again, G2B would still want to look for that early game because they're playing Lee Sin right now. They're fighting against the bot lane though with the lightning crash and the knock-up. That's going to be enough for them to take the kill. Akeno is going to go for more. With that cast, they are going to go for more. And this is KD, Sonic Wave, and that's going to be a kill for their side. Just going to give it and donate it to KD.
Yeah, it's it was a wrong way moment for sure. Right, there's no escape whatsoever. KD was there to cut off the exit path, and so Cerberus Esports, the only thing that they can do is to actually just counter invade, get some tower comps, and possibly threaten a dive on the top side.
Yeah, they can still go for the dive on the top side. Carl doesn't have any defenses that he can really look forward to. He's gonna go in, but goes where he pleases. The damage from the broken wings is not enough, and CES just takes the kill.
Yeah, still very good in tower diving is the Dr. Mundo, right? Like the amount of tankiness that is available to you with the ultimate getting popped at the right moment. Wait, killer instinct? Okay.
It's a good thing that he didn't get Taku. If he got Taku, he's gonna use that killer instinct for sure.
Surely, right? But yeah, like Cerberus Esports in general is doing a very good job in at least mitigating the early game advantage that is present to the lineup of G2 Blacklist.
Yep.
Y1 on this Dr. Mundo, I think it stopped. We have to stop memeing about this Dr. Mundo because it does feel to me that this is a practice champion by them, right? Like the amount of preparation that they came in unlocking Dr. Mundo 2 games out of the 5 games that Cerberus Esports has played. It's really showing that they're confident in playing this champion. So far, so good by them.
Yeah, not even just against a Vi though. The Dr. Mundo is such a nice pick for the squad that they gain the confidence of taking their Peril first against that Lee Sin. And it's also because the Lee Sin can't really take down that Mundo in the early game. It's one of the biggest reasons why we pick up the Lee Sin is we want to get that early game advantage against the other jungler. But it doesn't happen whenever you pick the Dr. Mundo.
Yeah, the only thing that really worries me right now for Cerberus Esports is... Wait, hang on. Golden Kite.
Go for the knockup. Genza is going to be the target, but he still got the tower in the mid lane. KD might find something here in the mid lane. They're going to push back Akeno. He's going to be the target. He's going to fall down. White one's going to be next draw. He's super low in HP. Genza's going to follow through, but the ricochet damage is still not that strong.
Yeah, the playmaking by KD is still up there. Right, using the Dragon's Rage into a flash just to make sure to get ahead of Akeno. But just going back to my original point earlier, right? Of course, sure, right? Cerberus Esports is still doing a very good jump. Another dive potentially on the top side. Carl needs to be careful, but yeah, never mind. He does have enough mobility and will have enough damage to just clear the way defending this top side. Then again, this pickup by Doctor of Cerberus Esports for Cerberus Esports is good, sure, right? The early game is you could not ask for a better start overall for the Dr. Mundo. The only worry I do have is that it gets countered by the double marksman composition that G2 Blacklist has right now, right? It's so different from game number 1. In game number 1, it was a very ideal pickup for the Dr. Mundo. In game number 5, with the double marksman available for G2 Blacklist, even if Dr. Mundo does have a lot of resources to work with at the early stages of the game, the damage that can get sustained by the Dr. Mundo against a double marksman composition is not going to be up there, right?
Yeah.
Sooner or later, he will get shredded down. He will melt with the damage potential of G2 Blacklist.
Yeah, but what I like about Cerberus Esports is they drafted also against it, though. Having double 2 marksmen on their side, but at this point, we can't consider the Corki a marksman anymore. It's basically a poke mage at this point, yeah. So with the Corki and having a Sivir on your side, that just makes it easier. Especially, they don't really have a proper tank except for the Ornn, so it's gonna be easier for Genza to shred through every member later on, which is why this is also a different flavor from what we've seen during game 1.
At least some threat here and there for the carries of Cerberus Esports. In fact, I dare say it's BMM.
Oh! He wasn't able to get the spell shield in, and that's gonna be good now. Aaron's gonna go in, but KD might be done right here, and that's Akeno just having an answer here in the top side.
Oh, the presence of mind.
Yeah.
Oh man, the presence of mind by both this gentleman to go and flash in. Okay, maximum dosage.
Yeah, maximum dosage really, really fast. Y1 just got that and made it a 2-for-1.
Right, wow. Cerberus Esports is really playing this perfectly. As perfect as you could hope for all the aggression. They're fine. This is just absurd right now, right? Like, if you were looking at this game at 8 minutes, one would say that Cerberus Esports is actually poised to win this. And I won't doubt you, right? Like, Y1 has played this perfectly. What's his skill participation so far on the Dr. Mundo? There you go. It's 3-0 and 1. 3 kills, 1 assist so far of the 7 kills that Cerberus Esports was able to get. And this is against a Lee Sin of KD. So overall, a very good job still by Y1.
Yeah, Y1 has been doing a great job here for the squad. Not an advantage, an early game advantage that G2B really solely wants for KD to be able to perform that well. But again, taking that off could really mean something bad here for G2B once we head into the middle to late game stages of the game. So KD would have a lot of problems here. As long as he does make a play in this mid game, that could still be mitigated.
Yeah, Akeno getting targeted, but still pretty much very tanky. Renduins, by the way, as the first item buy for Y1 KD.
Oh, again. But he was not able to follow through with draw using the ultimate on their side. So, yep, they're not going to get that kill.
Again, the recipe for success for G2 Blacklist is to continuously make plays by KD, going for the Dragon's Rage. Akeno getting caught here.
Yeah,
do they have enough damage?
Side, though. They are going to have enough damage if he's not going to be able to move.
This is the same concern that I have for Akeno, right? Like, he gets caught out of possession. KD! Assassinated!
Damage and burst coming in from their side, though. They're going to go for more. Y1's going to be their target. Not really a good target. Draw is going to die in the process. Genza with the exhaust. He's not going to be able to make them move. Aaron's going to die. And that's going to be a good process to their side. G2B, they're going to go for more. Y1 is going to be dead. And they have enough damage to take down that tank.
Yeah, and they have the numbers advantage right here, right now. BMM does have the package, but really, what can you do without your jungler? This dragon will be started here by G2 Blacklist. There's no smite for them as well.
Yeah, right? They still have the package on their side though. The red carpet has been laid down. Both of them don't have smite. So if ever they start this, they need to be careful because, oh man, what is this going? KD is going to go in, so this is going to be their dragon.
Alright, and that's a a soul point for G2 Blacklist, another win condition unlocked by the team. With Cerberus Esports really trying to maximize the value of the package, BMM had no option whatsoever. He needed to use the package to at least challenge the members of G2 Blacklist. And all things considered, that still is a net positive for G2 Blacklist, right? They're finding the plays, they're feeding their double marksman composition, and they're slowing down the Dr. Mundo.
Yeah. You need to slow that down. Genza, look at his record. He is now in a 0-4. Not really a good spot whenever you have a hyper carry on your side. But now KD gonna go in, Crown and Shadow Queen. They can go for the knockup. They're gonna go for more. And another Dragon's Rage coming in from KD. And Y1 is gonna be their next target though. He's gonna be dead, and that's 2 kills already. Carl's gonna be next. Goes in for the stun, and Genza is just gonna run away.
Did you see that alley-oop? That's Carl dunking on the Dragon's Rage connection from KD, the Lee Sin Riven combo. And G2 Blacklist is just going to back away with smiles. Cerberus Esports is slowly crumbling down. Let's look at that replay once again. Okay, so KD popped the crown. And then there you go. Go in for the play. And immediately Carl is there for the knockup. That's the slam dunkerino. How you play from G2 Blacklist?
Man. Carl, wow, what a great broken wings from this guy. And that was really great. I mean, KD was doing this since a while ago. He was doing a lot of kicks, a flash kick, anything that he could do in order for him to secure a kill for his carries. And so far, has been working wonders for G2B.
Right. If it's not BMM, it's going to be Genza getting targeted down by KD. So if you're the marksman of Cerberus Esports, when do you ever feel safe? Never, right? Like, all the members of G2 Blacklist will be ready for the plays that KD is about to make, and Draw is here just to play guard. And they're trying to threaten down this Baron takedown as well. We have to remember this is a double marksman composition. BMM.
Yeah, they're gonna be looking for it. They want another Dragon's Rage. They don't need it enough. BMM is gonna be dead. They use the explosive gas. KD is gonna be left alone. Has to safeguard. He's gonna run away. Without a fight, Y1 tries to fight against 2. Aaron has enough damage, and he's gonna be dead on the other end of the stick. We're gonna see another fight. Taku was able to use his stasis, but G2B survives.
Y1 is tanky, but never tanky enough against the Kai'Sa's damage, and he can shred down. Carl is here, going for a play once again.
Oh, he still got the kill though. Keno doesn't have the explosive cast anymore. They don't have the damage. They don't have the on the hunt. They're still gonna follow through. Carl almost dead, but now they have Aaron. They're gonna go for the 1v1. They are just gonna fight back. Another Captain Rain with a red buff. He's gonna be killed.
Did you see that trap moment? Man, the mountain, the bellows from Draw perfectly placed. And Genza cannot do a thing. G2 Blacklist gets another objective for themselves.
One more dragon, and this game is done. And this is, oh man, that is so good of a play. Let's take a look at that replay again.
Wow, crazy play, right? Again, Carl just hiding in the shadows. And let's look at this once again, right? Like, this is there was one bellow that was from Draw that prevented Genza to move, right? Like, you look at this, Genza. She's trying his best.
Rain, what?
Right,
he was
I know,
half
that
HP. Oh man, that's crazy.
Is this the armor penetration build?
Yeah, yes, the Dust Blade.
Dust Blade.
Oh man, this is why. So hard to fight against them. 5k gold lead for the side of G2B.
Yeah, I know.
Just waiting for the next dragon to come out in order for them to get the soul. And Genza is still not enough for the squad here.
And the Ice Soul is definitely going to join the team of G2 Blacklist. Putting some eyes into their veins as Celebration is definitely something to look forward to if you're a fan of G2B Army. And so far, so good for them, right? 14 minutes and 30. Half duration, or over half, or less than half duration on the Baron, and still enough time for G2 Blacklist to make some plays.
Yeah, G2B is just going to take the second tier turret, and that's going to be for free for the squad. And now they're just going to be taking over the map before they take their last dragon in order for them to secure the soul. Right now, Carl even goes for a 1v1 against Y1. And they're just going to be trying to take it. KD was able to run away from that explosive cast. And now they're pretty much safe. And Akeno is not going to be safe to get it with Y1. This Y1's going to be dead and being chased down by G2B. Want to go for Akeno, but they're looking at the top lane. Genza is going to be fighting a 1v1 against their side, but he's not going to work out. It's a good thing that Void Seeker wasn't able to hit, but they're going to be hitting all their shots on the bot side because they're going to go for another kick coming in from KD. And they are alive. They got the ace and they can finish this game.
Another alley-oop moment for G2 Blacklist, and they will be advancing to the upper bracket finals.
Upper bracket finals for the squad G2B. Game 3, Game 4, or rather Game 4 and Game 5, they just ended it with a flash. And they just took down Cerberus starting from Game 3. That really hurt their mental so bad.
Oh man, that game number 3 was pretty much a done deal for Cerberus Esports, but G2 Blacklist crawling back and basically snatching away the victory from the jaws of defeat was massive overall for G2 Blacklist's momentum and tempo. And in game number 4 and game number 5, there we say it, Dash out drafted.
Yep, out drafted Game 4, Game 5. Game 3 was a very much of a flip, and where that flipped the switch in favor of G2B. G2B just won that draft-wise in Game 4 and Game 5. Cerberus Esports really had such a hard time after Game 3, and that was enough for G2B to just take them down. The chess match for the coaches has been won by Coach TG just in Game 4 and Game 5.
Yeah, he was putting on a display, right? Like, this is how you draft, guys, and G2 Blacklist was pretty much a very unstoppable, or a very unstoppable team when it comes to execution, right? Like, you give them a draft that they can easily work with, and they will give you this. This is G2 Blacklist. Regardless and despite the advantages that Y1 was able to get the early stages of the game, we were cautious about, the fake power spike of the Dr. Mundo in this game, right? Like, because at no point in this game will he be relevant against the Kaisa, against the Zeri, two of the marksmen that can really shred you down health-wise, sustain DPS. No tanks can ever survive that.
Yeah, percent health damage is always gonna be key whenever you're fighting against a tank like Mundo, and Mundo only has his HP to make him work. And that's why in this game, even though KD was on the verge of losing his relevance in this game, but because he was able to consistently make those plays work even in the most clutch situations, he was able to make himself relevant.
Yeah, the alley-oop moment as the icing to the cupcake, right? Like,
yeah.
Carl, by the way, starting all 5 games and earning the trust of his coach in this series is definitely something that we will be looking forward and observing in the next few series that G2 Blacklist will be playing. KD is back in his elements, now has a like 2 MVPs, I believe, right? Like for the playoffs.
Yeah, 9 MVPs overall for KD. But again, everybody, this is just a testament to how good this squad is. G2B, yes, they lost the game 1. Cerberus Esports, they're still not done. Cerberus Esports still has a chance in getting a win against Naos Esports down there in the lower brackets. So the question is, what is gonna be in store for G2B now that they're gonna be fighting against Roster Y after the games in the lower brackets that we're gonna see soon enough?
Exactly, right? Like, the play between Cerberus Esports and Naos Esports is definitely going to be a very exciting one in the lower bracket. That will be a do or die, basically. Right? Like, whoever loses that game ends up not being part of the top 2, and that's the goal, right? Like, if you are part of the top 2, you get to fly over to the final stage, which will happen by February, right? We're trying to finish the APAC matches as soon as we can, just in time for us to have the CN playoffs that will most likely happen in in the next week.
Yeah, 4-1. G2B was able to win 4 consecutive games against Cerberus Esports this time around. But again, we're gonna be taking a look at the schedule tomorrow for our games. After this slide that you're seeing right now, we're gonna be seeing who is gonna be fighting for tomorrow. I think it's gonna be the lower brackets that are gonna start up, and we're gonna see who's gonna be taken off of the competition already. Really early. Oh man.
Wow. Okay, well, this is the bracket, and the bracket shows us that the next match will most likely be Manila Naos going against Cerberus Esports. For the match. Wait, it's match number 5, so we might have to wait. I guess we're going to feature the CN team tomorrow.
Yeah,
we're going to check the schedule real quick soon, because looking at the match numbers, it's most likely going to happen next week.
If we're gonna have match 3 and 4,
Who are the matches that we're gonna be seeing tomorrow, though? That's gonna
Maybe
be the question.
maybe the
Upper bracket?
the upper bracket.
Oh,
of the CN teams. Yeah.
Nova
there.
and-
Oh no, the
The
lower
lower
bracket.
bracket, yeah.
The lower bracket of the CN teams.
Okay.
So the next match of the APAC will happen most likely next week during the weekdays, and then the weekends will be reserved for the CN teams.
Yeah. Now Nova and Woohoo Gaming. We're gonna see who's gonna be taken off of the competition this early tomorrow for Nova and Woohoo Gaming. So that's gonna be a sad start here for tomorrow, because tomorrow is
Who's
the
your
start
guess?
in where here tomorrow I think Nova is just gonna be winning this tomorrow.
Oh yeah, surely, right? Like
Woohoo Gaming.
there's something about Woohoo Gaming, but anyway, we're going to straight to the interview.
Break time.
Nothing. We still practicing, even though it's Christmas and New Year.
All right. All right. Happy New Year first, and today's victory is kind of paid off of your practice. So now that you got your first win in the playoffs, let's talk about your goals.
Our goal is to beat Chinese teams because we want to take revenge, because last season KBG beat us and we want to win the championship as well.
Win the championship and beat a
Yeah.
Chinese team and take revenge for last season.
Yeah.
Copy that. So let's move into the game 3. Okay, you guys are really close to lose that one. So, but later you got the Elder Dragon and you get the Baron. And how did you manage to do that? And how did you manage to do such a great reverse?
Actually, I don't know what happened there, but I think the enemy team did pretty bad because they are super confident, and yeah, we punished them, and that's why we come back in the game.
All right, you just find the opportunity and punish their mistakes.
Yeah.
Got it? The last question for you is in last game, in game 5, what makes you think that mid Kaiser is a better option than mid Tristana?
Our coach picked that Kaisa because he knew that the Mundo will he knew that Kaisa will kill Mundo, and yeah, we have Zeri as well, so we need AP champion. That's why we pick Kaisa than Tristana.
All right, got it. So basically, Kaiser is a hybrid champion, and as well is for taking care of the Dr. Mundo. Got it? So that's all for today's interview. Congratulations again, and good luck. Have a good night. All right.
Thank you.
All right. Bye bye.
Yeah, just after game 3, that was enough though. As long as they they got the early game, from what we've heard from the interview, I think that was enough. I think that was enough for G2B just win game 4 and 5 by default, just because of how much the mental just took them down there.
Yeah, what a performance by G2 Blackness. Can't wait to see them in action again next week as they continue their playoff quest dash.
Yeah, really excited to see that. But again, tomorrow we have some CN Conference teams on the battle. We are going to be back for more games tomorrow, everyone. So don't go away. We'll see you guys tomorrow. See you guys for more Wild Rift.